Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to AllFunNDice this week. It is Sunday. It's almost October. Welcome. Before we get started, just want to double check that there is, if there's any audio issues, let us know. Let us know how if we sound good. If someone on either side of the table wants to say something, just so they can get a good vibe.
Travis, this is your stream.
Yep. Can you guys? I just want to make sure you guys can hear us good. We moved a few things around a little bit, so kind of reorganized a few things. How's it? Is the audio on both sides? You know, okay on both sides. Audio's good. Okay. Good.
Good.
On both sides.
Yeah, it sounds good, but try talking better.
Okay, then we'll just jump straight in. So last week, after returning to Anchor's Ridge with enough herbs to make a couple potions, our party reunited and was able to revive Mallow Roland, who we found out was the blacksmith's wife from the town of Rasberg. We found her story and how her and her husband got separated in the Sturgeon's Grove, attempting to get aid for their town. Along the way, you also revived a wolf you found in the forest. And Knack, with some very persuasive rolls, managed to befriend him, and you guys named him Worthington. After listening to Mallow's intense pleads, the group of you set off into the forest to try to reach Rasberg and try to end this endless blizzard. After a half day, as the wind and snow was only getting worse and worse, you guys took a rest for the evening, only to be attacked by a group of ice-bound wolves and bears. At the end of the fight, everybody was standing just for Lonan to collapse, encoded in frost. And that's where we will take up right away. So last thing everybody saw, everybody's all good. Knack stepped over, used a spell, revived Worthington, panting and breathing. He's back up on his feet. Just to hear a boom, as you all turn and see Lonan, still in his wolf form, collapsed onto the
I thought
ground.
it faded.
No, it has not faded.
For sure it faded.
Nope, I said it didn't fade.
So he's in his wolf form, unconscious.
You just saw him collapse.
Just collapse.
I'm gonna run over and check him.
Okay, did you touch him?
Not right away.
Okay, as you run over, roll a quick perception check.
Oh, not good. I rolled a 6.
6. So, as you run over, you just see that Lonan is face down, white fur just showing along his back.
Alright, I'm not going to touch him. Guys! Everybody! Lonan's hurt. I think something might be wrong.
I'm pretty hurt myself, so I'm kind of just panting in the snow, trying
I'll
to
walk over.
regain my composure.
Can I try to examine?
Did he get like bit or something?
Not that I can see. Can I examine his body?
Sure. What do you mean by examine?
Can I look him over using my skills in medicine to determine what's wrong?
Sure. First, you can roll perception as you walk over.
I'm gonna head over in that.
Yeah, you can roll with advantage, actually.
And you said perception?
Yep.
So 19.
19. So Willow, as you walk over, you can see that something is off with Lonan's fur. And you can tell, it's not coming from the ground around him, but it's like spreading across his back. There's a familiar layer of frost that you've seen in your time caring for Mala.
I think he has the curse.
The curse? Ooh, and I'm gonna put my hands back.
Don't touch him.
Oh no.
We'll just leave him here.
Guys! Guys, Lonan got cursed.
Oh, Onan got cursed.
I don't know, I think
Can
from
we just give him that
creatures-
potion?
Can I
Not
look
yet.
around this room?
Not yet. We only have
Yes,
2
we
uses.
should consider.
Well,
Just kidding.
he just drank the fire breathing potion in our fight, so we have to wait an hour for it to wear off.
Oh.
Just make sure he's stable. Nick, can you make sure he's stable?
I guess. I could assist you there.
So as you're looking around Gray, you just see that same. The fight as the fight wore down, the wind never really stopped. The snow, just the same amount of flurries that have been blowing around. But as you look, it's the same quiet silence everywhere.
No wildlife.
It's almost
or anything.
like it's almost like a mist. Like the snow is creating like almost a boundary where you can't see past it. But it seems calm, but that's what it felt like before the wolves attacked as well.
Okay.
While I'm like unconscious, am I like dreaming of anything or at all?
So as you fall, it's only been a few moments so far, but it's almost like it's stuck in your mind is that last moment. You see the group around you, and it's almost like you're still falling.
Okay.
You feel like an eternal falling as like your body is like freezing up, and you're just getting colder and colder and colder and colder. Did you want to check them over now?
Yeah.
Okay, you can roll a medicine check.
Alright.
And you can roll with this one with advantage as well, actually.
Probably a good thing.
It didn't.
That's a little better.
Yeah. Medicine?
Yep.
16.
16. So you're familiar with the curse at this point. You have been dealing with Mala for almost half a week at this point. So you recognize the frost moving across and the typical symptoms of like the slowed, almost stopped heartbeat and the very shallow, like staggered breathing. That is the signs.
Yeah, he's got the curse.
I know he had the curse. I asked you to stabilize him.
Well, I mean,
Didn't do that.
You notice that
is he stable?
From what you know, is he's not at any risk of dying.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
He's pretty stable looking to me.
All right,
We've
bring
gotta
him.
keep him warm.
Yeah, bring him by the fire and make the fire bigger.
Well, can he keep himself warm? He's like a wolf or something.
No,
Well,
he's
that's
been
her.
cursed. Were you paying attention?
Yes.
No.
In the same way we had to save,
Mala. Not Mala.
what's our wolf's name?
Worthington.
Worthington.
Meanwhile,
Oh.
Worthington
what's
is-
Worthington look?
Worthington he's a little beaten. He has some big like gashes. There's blood matting his fur. But he has since gotten up and walked over, and he's actually the lean-to that was set up. He's curled up underneath it.
Aw,
With his
poor
head, you could just see his nose like
Aw.
sniffing, poked out from underneath.
I can't really lift Lonan, and I think we should be careful touching him.
Maybe we
Have
can.
we-
To get them.
Is
Have
there
we
a way
ever-
to do it without touching him?
Have we ever tested if it goes through fabric, or is it if we touch him with our bare hands?
I'm not familiar. Maybe like make ropes into lassos and we can drag him over.
Should we just give him a potion?
We have to wait an hour.
Oh, we do?
Well,
Yes.
if you're familiar with the effects of mixing potions, we can go over them briefly. But mixing potions is risky. He could explode or something
Oh.
worse.
Yes,
Yeah,
perhaps
he,
we don't
Also,
risk
You did drink
that.
that fiery one, didn't you?
yeah, while we're talking, I'm gonna be taking my rope out of my bag and kind of trying to like put it around his feet.
Roll a intelligence sleight of hand check.
Without touching him.
Not good.
So, Will, where you're closest by right
6.
now, you can see, you can see Pippin just struggling to tie like a basic knot around his foot.
Perhaps I should help.
Yeah, I'm like I can't even tie my shoes. Mine are
I
Velcro.
was gonna say I did notice the Velcro dear.
Just slip on. He just has like Toms.
Yeah.
Slippers.
All right, this is all you. I'm gonna go warm the fire.
The fight. You guys actually haven't been. You weren't fighting for very long. It's only been a few moments since everything occurred. So the fire is still like a decent level, but the snow is starting to kind of wane it down. Even so.
Once the rope's tied, can I like start like kind of half pulling him, half using gust to help wind push him
Okay.
to
So
get him closer to the fire?
you can roll a strength check.
I would probably assist him instead.
Okay. So you can both roll strength.
Oh, that's good. Good thing.
What'd you get?
An 8.
So using gust, you were able to push him a little bit. The actual pulling isn't doing very much, but what did you get?
16.
16. Gray comes along eventually and grabs onto the rope as well.
Man.
And I'm assuming you tied it around both of his feet, and you're just kind of dragging him.
Yeah.
So his arms have gone up, and he's getting dragged through the snow. But as you are pulling, you guys just notice that now his body is entirely coated with
Oh,
this
no.
frost. So it's over top of his clothes now, and the two of you, because you're closest, will notice that some of the frost is starting to, like the typical like patchy permafrost kind of, like it almost looks like snow piled on. It's starting to almost like gleam into a solid surface.
Like ice.
That,
Yeah.
that looks a little concerning.
Yeah,
It's almost like how those creatures.
we should warm him up real quick.
We might not be able to wait the hour. We might have to risk it.
If we keep him warm, he should be fine. Remember with the woman that
Yes,
you kept
but-
for a week,
But what if
But-
he
but
wakes and
indoors
tries
is-
to attack?
Or that.
maybe tie his limbs together. Risking potions is very dangerous. I would not recommend it.
But, I mean, the conditions aren't the same either. We're also outside.
In the elements.
And
And
the
we
elements
also
try to
know
keep
it's
him warm,
like
yeah.
something's going on
He
that
could be-
it's spread in the forest.
He could also be cursed worse than.
Yes, that's
The woman
true.
was.
Could
It
be worse.
appears similar from what I can tell, but we can vote, but I recommend not mixing potions personally.
How long has it been?
It has been maybe like
like 5 or
5
10 minutes.
minutes. I would push it. 10 isn't even like pushing it on length. It's been very short amount of time.
I personally would.
Well, maybe we'll try to warm him up. And
Let's
give that a
try
few
first.
minutes,
Yeah,
but
let's
if-
try and warm him up, and then if it looks like it's getting worse
Yeah.
or not getting better at all, then we can debate.
Can I examine one of the dead wolves?
Yep. So as you look around, you notice that there is the one wolf that has been like skewered, like right through its whole body by the javelin that was thrown through it. But as you look around, you see that there are the other 2 wolves in the bare body, and that are just like slumped on the ground.
Are they dead?
You want to examine them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll a quick medicine check.
I rolled a 13.
So going up to the one you walk up, you don't even have to go close. You can tell the one that has the javelin in it has died. But you notice that the other 2 in the bear are still breathing slowly. But there's no frost covering their bodies anymore, other than the snow that has slowly started to collect on them since.
So they don't appear to be cursed.
You can tell that they're sleeping and they have the slow breathing, but they don't have the frost on them anymore. You don't know what that means.
Alright, I'm going to take my dagger and cut their throats.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
So
look
the
over.
breathing stops.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We have food now.
So you
This is the
Pippin is
bear?
like Pippin is
And
like
the wolves.
like covered in like
Perhaps
blood
we should
spray.
put Lonan inside
Yeah,
the bear's body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could put Lonan. Is the bear warm on the inside?
Yes.
It is not like the blood isn't like as cold as the air around you, so it's like almost like a spray of warmth. But Pippin's handled blood before, so you know it's not as warm as it should be.
Maybe not. We'll just light the fires. Is someone
Fires.
or make the fire bigger if you could?
Nope.
No. I don't understand.
Well, how am I gonna make it bigger?
With wood, we're in a
Oh,
forest.
you want to burn more of our wood?
Yes.
Right.
Are you okay now? Did you take a hit in the head?
No, I'm fine.
I have healing. I have a health potion.
I want
need
to
it. All right.
drag myself towards where the wolf is sleeping under the lean-to.
Okay. I almost imagine you like physically dragging
Yeah, I'm
your
literally
body.
just crawling myself
Yeah.
while everyone's debating because I'm freezing and I'm hurt.
Yeah, because most of the snow in the area has been trampled. You
Yes.
guys have been running around quite a bit.
Yes.
So the about shin-high snow has been trampled quite a
So
bit
yeah, I'm
down.
gonna do that and I'm
Okay.
gonna go lay down and kind of like shivering next to the wolf.
Roll a quick animal handling check.
Oh. Oh no. 5.
5. Okay. Worthington doesn't react to you
Okay.
entering the lean-to.
That's fine. That's fine.
We can try and kill you. So
So
it's good.
whilst everyone's trying to like put the camp back together and stuff, I'm going to approach Gray. Go, Gray, are you familiar with skinning and preparing animals?
Strangely enough, I was just about to ask the same question for anybody else.
I am not.
I could certainly try.
I'm familiar with their anatomy. That might be helpful.
And I have a steady hand. We
Let's
should get
do
to work.
this.
Where are you guys
Buddy
standing
cop.
around? Where are you
Someplace.
guys?
I think we're standing around the wolf or the bear, one of the carcasses.
Well, I would have been next to
The fire?
the fire and the Lonan because I dragged his body back.
So you were able to hear that as well, the conversation going on. Because I imagine you guys are all huddled by the fire.
I would have been able
Yeah,
to hear
yeah,
this.
because the lean-to is like pretty close to the fire. It's only about 10 feet away.
I have no skills when it comes to,
What?
but I am too tired.
Yeah.
I am just
Very
like
well.
hurt and like.
I'm pretty hurt too.
Yeah.
I'll quickly try to extend the fire so it's not kind of one central pit, but more of like a.
Okay. I don't believe you guys have enough. I don't think you have enough leftover wood for that yet.
I didn't think of it either.
Yeah.
I'll go look for wood.
Okay, you could roll a survival check.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And I guess
20, not
20.
natural, 22.
Ooh.
Okay,
Nice.
so you were able to go out, and within like a quick amount of time, probably let's say 10 minutes it takes you to get back, you were able to find like a hefty amount of firewood, like quite a bit. Like you come back and you're like carried this like towering above your head, you're like almost toppling over with it.
So yeah, I'll do that. I'll build it into like a more of like a line of fire as opposed to
And so it's the wood is wet, but you already have the fire burning, so it dries quick enough.
Mhm.
And we'll say probably about after this time, about 20 minutes has passed since the battle began.
I think Pippin and I will try to do that skinning during.
Yeah, we'll try to prepare the dead wolf.
I'm still by Lonan,
Yep.
trying to like keep an eye on him and see if there's any changes.
Is he defrosting at all?
So you have noticed, Willowa, that in the time between Nat got back and Nat built the fire, like in between when he left and built the fire at the end, you notice that it was very slowly connecting. So like you can count like pieces of like solid ice chips on his body. But since the fire has been built, there hasn't been any progression.
Okay,
But
so it's
it
kind of
hasn't-
just like stopped.
But yeah,
So
but
he's like growing ice on him?
it
but
hasn't
nothing
had
has
any-
like. But something you have noticed as well is that it has been a prolonged amount of time, and he's still in his wolf form. He's not. His house is wolf head. His body is still covered in the fur.
Pippin,
Yes, I'm like covered in
in
blood.
blood.
Roll
Does
survival.
Lonan usually stay a wolf for this long?
Not from what I've observed.
I didn't think so.
Is that that one?
Interesting.
No.
That was roll
What am I rolling?
survival.
Oh!
Oh, perfect.
Not bad.
I rolled a 18.
Okay, so Pippin, you are making a pretty quick work of getting this. What are you specifically trying to do? Like you could.
Skin and prepare the dead bear to be eaten.
So
Solid.
you were making quick work
Alright.
of getting the skin off of the bear. So we'll say it'll probably take you probably like an hour to do
Yeah.
it fully, but it's going well. Gray has just been no help.
Yeah.
Gray is like almost actively hindering you.
Yeah,
Like you're like, Gray, do this, and he like cuts off the leg.
yeah, and I'm
Or starts to,
Yeah.
just like sawing it off.
yeah, and I'm like, no, peel back this connective tissue.
And then he can do that when you tell him to, but like he kind of needs constant guidance and constant supervision. He's not really
Alright.
helping. He's kind of just an extra set of hands.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, great.
So then after we're finished,
Are
how
we
long is
gonna
it
wait until after you're fully finished? Because he said that would take like an hour.
Yeah. Then you started, so it'll be. So by the time you're done, the potion would have been worn off for like 20 minutes on
Okay.
on Lonan.
Okay.
So we should not be waiting, but how do we know when an hour has passed? It's not like we have watches.
Yeah.
And you guys just have to
Guess.
guess.
Well, I don't know if we'd wait that long.
By the position of the sun.
You can't see the sun.
So, so going back,
Yep. We're still in the same time frame.
Sure. Because I'm there too, near the fire and near Lonan, right? So
Yep.
do I notice the same that like he doesn't seem to be warming per se. He just kind of it's like
Once you are done
Yeah.
building the fire, and you kind of, I imagine you would settle with the Willowa. You guys are the most like practiced in tending to this kind of illness at this point.
Sure.
You would notice that it looks worse than it was, but it doesn't look like it's getting worse anymore.
Okay. So, yeah, at that point, mid your butchering, everybody, come here for a second,
Alright.
please.
And you don't have to re-roll
Yeah.
if you stop. We'll just count the whole roll. It's the whole skipping
Yeah.
process.
I'm gonna walk over.
He doesn't seem to be getting any better. I don't,
Not really any worse.
I don't know
though
if it's
now.
getting worse, but yeah, there's certainly a good amount of ice that's formed on him, and well, he's also still a wolf.
That is
I was
strange.
concerned about that.
Yes.
What do you recommend?
Well, I mean, I'm not the potion master that you are, but I think that I'm more concerned than not at this point.
I
Do you
say
think-
we do it.
Do you think enough time's passed?
Not yet. I think that we can vote, but I don't know how to stress that it is very risky. Either both potions' effects could be rendered inert, and we would have wasted one of our potions. He could explode. He could. There's a small percentage that one of the potion's abilities become permanent. But mostly not good. One of the potions might cancel out. Both of them might cancel out.
Yes.
The mixture might become poison instead.
Well, we can deal with that, I think. I mean,
But would he be still frozen?
Well,
or
we
poisoned?
Well,
also-
the thing is if he's not really getting any worse, why don't we just wait another like 20 minutes until it's been an hour, and then we don't have to worry about.
We only have 2 Lydia's blessings.
So do we really want to waste it?
I mean, I definitely don't want to waste it, but I, as I said, I'm more concerned than not at this point. He's not reacting the same way that, you know, the woman did.
We're also in a colder temperature.
We are. That's true.
How
Well,
I
now that you
would.
built this big fire, though, he hasn't gotten any worse.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks worse than Mala ever did, but
What if we unfreeze him and he stays a wolf forever?
Well, that is true too. I mean, the potion, that's concerning, and yeah, I mean, he
already does stand out in a crowd anyway.
Mala didn't ever look quite this bad to start, so
No, she didn't.
it's possible that the potion might not have the same effect given how advanced this is already.
I'm not sure.
I really think it should be Pippin's decision because he's the one that understands the potions the most.
I
Is there
agree.
nothing else we can do to warm him other than having him near this fire? Because it doesn't seem to be doing much.
Can I take my scarf off and kind of half lay it on him, kind of just drape it over him
Okay.
and see if that does anything? Because it's on the cold resistance.
So you can wrap it around, but just immediately it doesn't look like there's any effect. No, there's no instantaneous thing that is happening to him.
Okay.
Yeah. And do you drape it over his head or along his torso?
Kind of around his neck, almost like where I would wear it, but not actually wrapped because I don't want to actually touch him. So it's kind of just draped over maybe over part of his face, his neck, and how big it is would determine kind of how much it covers. But
So you don't see any immediate effects when you do
Okay.
that.
I'll see if that helps.
Well, based on my professional opinion, I'd say that we should wait because if we don't wait, there are potential likely risks, and if we do wait, we're just in the same situation we are now since he appears to not be changing. Does everyone agree?
I mean, I think that makes sense.
I'd put my trust in you.
Thanks, guys. Also, who wants bear for dinner?
Me.
Wow.
Oh, we could try to drape the fur over him too.
The bear fur?
Yeah, might as well.
Sure. Go grab it.
Okay, if you're gonna do that, I'm taking my thing back because it's all bloody.
Yeah, go for it.
So you guys drape the. So it'll take
bear-
you a little bit still to get the bear off. The bear skin isn't fully off yet.
Yeah, we'll continue skinning and dressing the bear, and then we'll after we finish that, we'll try to cook it, I guess, over the fire.
Okay, but before you finish, the hour comes up. You guys estimate. You guys are having a hard time guessing with the sameness of the sky and the same ferocity of the wind and the same stillness of the forest around you. It's hard to track the time. But by the time the bear is finished being skinned, and it's not a great job. You guys didn't do an amazing job skinning this bear, but you guys did. It's good enough, so you can add a bear skin to whoever's inventory wants to hold it. And you guys would have guessed, Pippin especially, you would know that an hour has definitely passed by now
Yeah.
since the potion was drank.
I'll reach into my bag of holding and I'll pull out a little broken pocket watch and then realize it's broken and kind of look kind of sad and put it back.
Oh,
Sad day.
And
how is Lonan looking?
Lonan looks very similar to what
So
he
he
has
hasn't
before.
changed.
Roll a perception check, Eerie. I'm imagining if you're not just laying full the whole time, you're
No,
probably
I've
poking
sat
out.
up at this point a little bit because I'm just trying to warm myself
Yes.
a little bit. Now that the fire's bigger.
Yeah.
6.
6. You don't notice any. You're very unfamiliar. You were gone for a while the process, and even when Mallow was being treated, you weren't kind of around
Yeah, I
for it
wasn't
in the
there.
first place. You were kind of just be like, I'm gonna go try to do something else to see if I can help otherwise because I don't know medicine that much. So you don't have a lot of experience. So you're having a hard time telling.
Okay, that's fine.
If you, Anak, and Willowa would like to roll as well, you can.
Yeah, I'll roll.
The other two, you're still busy.
20, not now.
Okay.
Natural one.
Not one. Nak, you are just very, like, you are actually very
Fell asleep.
focused on the fire. You're just trying to maintain it because it is kind of going out a lot quicker than normal just because of the snow. But Willow, you notice that around his chest area, nothing is happening where you had your draped down your scarf.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that very slowly the ice has been spreading. A lot slower than before, but the small shards are still growing at a probably half the rate they were before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pippin, do you think it's been enough time?
Yes.
I'm starting to get a little worried. I've noticed it definitely slowed down, but since we last spoke, it's starting to spread.
Okay. Does everyone want to come around? Should we?
Has it for sure been an hour? Perhaps we shouldn't all stand too close if he explodes.
Oh my
I
god.
draw my swords.
Perhaps that's a good idea. I will give him the potion. Everyone stand back. And then I'll take my bag of holding and wrap it around Willow and reach in and retrieve one of my Lydia's blessings.
Okay.
And walk over very carefully. And then I'm gonna kind of like open his wolf muzzle, like.
It kind of like a snapping of ice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It
like
takes a second for it to like open up because like,
Bunch of
it's
your
almost like a
teeth.
seal.
The teeth are like on the opposite side.
But even opening his mouth, you can see that the interior of his throat and mouth are covered in this same frost.
Ooh, not good.
Not good. Not good.
You
Okay.
did.
Probably should have done it earlier.
So
Could have
I'm gonna
explained.
open his mouth
True.
and then I'm gonna kind of like pet his head a little bit, and then I'm gonna uncork the potion and pour it down his mouth.
Okay, so Lonan, this whole time you've been experiencing this slow falling, almost like you've been stuck in the same moment of your collapse endlessly. And then very quickly it seems like you fall and you wake up and it feels like just like this heat spreading, this almost like uncomfortable like burning sensation through your whole body. You can feel it in every like single like fiber of your being. It feels like you're on fire you sit up quickly gasping, and everyone around can see like the ice, but as well as like form almost like melting away.
The wolf form's melting away?
Melting away. Back into Lonan.
Okay.
Regular Lonan.
Oh my. What has happened? And I'm like, I look at my hands. Are they all frostbitten and everything?
Nope, nothing. Everything is going away. Like,
Am I still in my wolf form now?
no, your
You just
wolf
said
form
you
is
felt-
melting
Oh, I'm sorry.
away.
Yeah, you meant the way. Sorry.
The first thing you see though is just Pippin like covered in blood.
Well,
But the thing is, do I notice that Pippin was like? Is he still holding the flask?
the bottle. Yeah.
The bottle, sorry.
Yeah, it's in one hand, and he's sitting in front of you, but like he's like covered in blood, coated
Okay.
head to toe.
I just
Hello.
wrap my arms around Pippin and give him a big
Yeah,
hug.
and I'll be like,
Yeah. Pippin, thank you so much. I
It
can only
worked.
assume that you saved me.
you didn't explode,
And then I'm like, explode. Sorry. I'm
guys. It worked.
I draw my sword. Or
Yeah, you hear the shinking of the long.
Are you
long
hungry?
swords.
We're making bear.
Before even worrying about being hungry, I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to look at my hands, look at my feet. Is everything okay?
Yep, everything seems intact from your. Well, it's just a quick. No, you don't have to roll because it's your own body.
Okay.
You don't see anything wrong with yourself. Anything different? You do, as you sit up, you feel the wolf fading. So you don't really know how much time has passed because it feels like you've been stuck in this. It feels like almost a second.
Okay, yeah. It's like I was unconscious and then I like immediately
Yeah.
woke up kind of thing. Okay. Well, thank you so much for saving me, everyone. I can't believe that you managed to... was the potion still left in me, the one before? Like, how long have I been
What?
out for?
About an hour.
You waited just enough time, I'm assuming, for... Like,
Yes.
I would know that? Because like, me and him talked
It wouldn't have
before.
been something that Pippin had mentioned because it's kind of a niche thing. It
I
wouldn't have
never-
had to
let's-
come up yet.
let's- Yeah, let's ignore that then. I didn't say that.
Let's
I know we
sit
were
by the
together.
fire and rest. Someone should probably keep watch in case more of those ice creatures
I
attack.
can.
Okay, I'll finish preparing the food with Gray. All right, good job, everybody.
Lonan, perhaps you should rest, and you too, Eerie. You know, you
Eerie's,
still
like,
look like
already
you're
resting.
I'm
tired.
trying to think of
I am.
what my HP was before. Must be pretty low.
What do you think, Pip? Maybe a stew? Beef stew?
I don't have
Do you
any
have a pot?
vegetables.
Neither do I.
I do not have a pot. I was thinking like on a stick over
That
the
was
fire.
that would
Like
probably be better.
marshmallows?
I
I
don't
agree.
know. What is a marshmallow?
Like a
It's something
a
from the Prince. This is
marshmallow.
the Riverlands.
The River Princedoms.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with their cuisine.
I'll have to get some for you.
Sure.
You
And
get
then-
one.
After
Here, what?
No, you're on 1 HP.
after like reviving Lonan with the potion, I start to realize that I'm actually pretty hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been like working since the fight started. I'm like trying to help you, and I'm like, ow. Ouch. Like the adrenaline's fading, and I'm like feeling how achy I am.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Let's keep on doing this.
Just finish up for everybody, and then we'll just take a break.
Yeah. So then once we have all the food,
Yeah, you can carve off just enough chunks that will satisfy.
I'll sit
the
there
group of
nibbling
you.
a piece of bear. So how's everyone doing? We're 1 potion down, 1 to go.
Yep, next person get frozen's last save.
Yeah, we have to be really careful in this forest from here on out. We really have to make sure that if we're encountering these creatures that we don't really like touch them or get bit by them or
Did
whatever.
anyone notice that they seemed to not like fire damage? It seemed to be very effective.
Yes, I did notice that.
I didn't see the whole fight since it was happening all at once and there was multiple creatures, but I definitely seen that Lonan, when he used the fire breath potion, it did a considerable amount. Was there any other types of damage that anyone noticed?
My fire damage was the one that I noticed did the most.
They did get hurt by blunt force,
From your
but
bow
piercing
staff?
didn't seem to do anything.
Probably because of the ice.
Like armor, it like formed around.
Kind of like the way it looked on Lonan before.
I wonder if we
giving
would
the
have,
potion.
if we reach this town, there might be a bunch of people covered in ice like that.
I hope not.
We're gonna have to be careful, essentially, because we only have 1 potion, and that was a pretty difficult fight.
We really need to get out of here is what we need to do.
I don't have any fire magic.
We need
Do
to
you
I don't
have
either.
fire or something that can produce flame?
I have a considerable amount of flammable oil, which it can make fire worse, which we can use. I'm gonna hand out 5 oil flasks to everyone,
Okay.
so everyone can have 5 oil.
So he's just
flasks.
endlessly pulling out like oil flasks out of his bag of holding.
We could like make makeshift like torches.
So
with fire going.
what they do, I'll explain it in detail. So basically, if you can throw it or smash it over a creature in front of you or at a distance, but if they're covered in oil and you light them on fire, they'll take 5, or they'll take more fire damage. Out of game, they take 5 extra fire damage,
Okay.
which is pretty good if they're
I
sensitive
know
to
some
it.
fire spells.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it today. I need time to rest, but perhaps tomorrow. What time is it right now, approximately?
It's hard to tell. You can tell that it's only been a little bit. You guys haven't been traveling very long today, only about 4 hours.
Yeah.
But you can tell that the sun, you can't see it because of the cloud cover, but you can guess that it's probably past its apex. So it's definitely passing it, but you are having a hard time telling that, other than that.
Okay.
But you can tell the sun is still up at
Well,
least a little bit.
yeah, we had traveled, I think, for like 4-ish hours.
Yep.
Excuse me, and then we had this pause, right?
For about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Rob, let's just say hypothetically during battle, before like I say I'm gonna do this, if we're in battle, how long would it take me? Like, if I was thinking about makeshifting from like any piece of like whatever that I can find, like clothing or something, that I could wrap it around like the ends of my my arrows or something like that, and then douse them in that the oil. And then how long would it be during battle to like light them and then shoot them? Would that count as like my bonus action to light them and then shoot them would be my action?
It would be, the way it would work is you would have to do an action to dip the cloth in oil, and then use a bonus action to light it somehow if you have a way to do it. And then the next turn you'd be able to fire, but it would kind of be your whole turn in order to like get the arrows
okay, so-
prepared.
Do you think before we leave this fire, we should all just like make a torch for ourselves? So when we're walking through, we have like kind of fire at the ready.
I
I
might
would say
have
people
torches.
that can't use fire.
I don't know if I do.
And then also, are we just gonna try to run and just go through the forest, or go back, or what's the plan?
Well, we're gonna continue on, right? Till
Yeah.
we reach the village at the other side of the forest.
I mean,
Because we're trying to find that island.
And that's the place where we need to go to get to the island.
The
Or can I
isle,
have a short rest
the
or
Isle Ivern. I think that we're gonna be taking a long rest after we're done eating,
I
probably.
really need a long rest.
I
Me
need a
too.
long rest too.
Yes, me as well.
It would be good
so
to
like
regain my
we'll
spells.
camp here for the night. You're saying?
Is it really that close to night though?
Well, I mean, I suppose we could probably have a long rest in the night. Well, I don't know.
I think it's
It's
like
winter.
half past
What time does
winter.
it? What time does it get dark around?
It's weird because is it winter? It's like a
Yeah,
magic winter.
True.
So, from your best estimates, you'd probably guess it would get dark around the same time as it would in a normal spring day. You don't think that the weather actually affects the movement of the sun and the ring and
Okay.
the stars.
So in a forested area, an estimate. What would I have of how much longer we'd have light to travel by for?
You're having a hard time guessing the time, but you would guess at least another couple hours.
Another
like a
couple
minimum,
hours.
like probably maybe you would guess maybe 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be smart for us to stay in one place during the night though? Like maybe if we get a long rest now, we can go through the night with our torches and travel.
I don't have a torch. Or
I
I
don't-
suppose I can make one.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I have. I don't think I have torches.
I don't have a torch either. How? Well, no, actually, I can't.
Could we
well,
make a
What
torch
torch did
though?
you guys?
I perhaps
Grease. I
just-
mean, we could dry out some logs and try to fashion something.
does anybody have a ruby?
I have a spinel.
Not a ruby.
I don't have a ruby.
Chemically, they're not that
Ruby.
different.
I'm sorry, but
No,
could we not?
I just
would I
have
know? Would there be enough bones in the bodies of like the? I'm sure there would be. Like I don't know how crazy you went with carving, but could we not take like a giant bone out of like the bear, wrap it around with cloth, and light it like that?
Could try it.
Can I attempt to? I'm really tired right now, so I'm probably not going to be doing this. But perhaps one of you could finish off carving the bear and grab a nice sized bone, attach a piece of cloth to the end. Perhaps use some of the one flask of oil. I don't know how much it would take, and light the end. How long would the oil burn?
If it's a suitable torch, I think it would burn for an hour.
Would anybody be okay with doing that? I would definitely help with
That's
this.
pretty
but-
gross.
If we
Well,
only
I-
have a considerable number of torches, we should wait to light them until there's a threat.
I don't
Otherwise,
think.
we're wasting them.
I agree.
Well,
I don't think
on the
traveling.
run.
It is our one defense
What'd you say?
against one
These
of our only
creatures.
defenses against these
Also,
creatures.
we should discuss combat strategies. I'm not too familiar with like battle formations, but if we have 2 people who can cast fire magic, they should be like the primary attackers, and we should be supporting them the best that we can.
Well, I know I
I agree.
can do fire.
Gray, you have military experience. What would you recommend?
Well, I'm mostly kind of like healed, but I'd say pick the people that can take damage, most the sturdiest ones, put them in front, and the casters behind us, kind of protect them.
So who would be the sturdiest? Would it be you?
Knack and maybe me. Everybody else uses range, right?
So
I'm afraid I have no magic.
Willowa is in the front lines, but she's pretty swift. Like I didn't. She's good at dodging hits.
I
Well,
as
hell
well.
no.
Sorry.
Willowa.
Oh, guys, sorry.
Wait a minute.
Go to bed.
One of those wolves. Yeah. No, I have to finish cooking.
Oh, you ate mad bear meat.
Yeah. Sorry. Eerie is good in the front line. So the 3 of you in the front lines and the 3 of us on the back line.
Yes.
And
I
then
mean, as long as I have visual to cast my fire spells, I can do them from wherever.
We just have to keep people away from you.
Who
so
else can do fire?
What if we're attacked
just
from
you,
the back? Though?
just you and
Then
Knack.
you have to.
So-
I can't do any fire spells today. I need to
Well,
rest.
No,
tomorrow.
we're resting. We're talking
We're
about in the
preparing
future, not
for
this
tomorrow.
very moment.
we could try to do myself and Maybe you stay back with them, and if anything comes from behind, you can help. Because you can do ranged stuff too, right?
Is your fire magic ranged or melee?
I can have both.
Well, then you would probably be better in the front lines, right? Because you're beefy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but well, like we were just talking.
And I can cover the back.
What if something attacks us from behind though?
Then I can be in the back because I have fire.
What if they come at us from the side?
I'm not
We're
familiar with
screwed.
battle formations.
Okay. Well, anyway,
There's only 6 of us though, so realistically, if we're going 2 by 2 or
let's just walk in a
3 by 3.
line.
I mean,
Let's
usually
invite
I
them.
was in the back and I was just getting people up. But
All I know is, so, yeah, I guess I'll be supporting the 2 fire damaging people best that we can and assisting them. I think a good idea for a battle strategy is use your oil flasks as soon as you can for the fire magic people. Because once they ignite it, it does more damage. So if you can't use fire magic, like us 4, throw
make
your
sure
oil
you're throwing
flasks.
the oil flask.
Or if you're in front of them, you can break it in front of them as well. And
Okay.
then these 2 will do. Does that sound like a good
That
plan?
sounds like a plan.
so we don't even need it. We could leave it to like the way, I guess. But
I think that Willowa can create light magic already. Okay.
Before I do any of this, I'm very tired.
Yeah, I was just gonna pass it.
Yeah.
Everyone
Just
can
like for a
rest.
bit.
So
all box.
are we like traveling tonight though, or are we just gonna rest until
I
tomorrow morning?
don't think I can. I'm
I think we
very tired and hurt and sore.
All right.
Well, everyone can get a long rest, and then we can decide at
Is
that
anyone
point how we feel.
okay enough to take a first watch?
I'm
I'll
Like-
take first watch
very fine as well.
because I do trance sleep, so I don't need as long as everyone else.
try to do second.
You can
and
only
third.
still take watch for 2 hours. Though.
Yeah.
Alright,
You're gonna okay.
I'm going first.
but you guys can.
I also wasn't really that
Talk.
badly hurt.
If you
No, you're not.
want. I'm gonna go over to Lonan and say, Lonan.
Yes.
You okay? You look a little weary.
Yes, I'm rather hurt from
Me
earlier.
too.
I feel like a nice long rest would
Yeah,
definitely save
I
me.
was just gonna come tuck you in.
Oh, thank you for covering for me.
Here, and then I'm gonna hand you Tenaculum.
Oh,
He'll keep you warm.
Are there any twigs just on the ground at all?
Not that you can see, just because of the thick layer of snow.
Is there any pieces from the battle scene that we had that I can?
You can run over probably to an
Sticks
evergreen,
from the battle.
because they have that ring underneath that the snow
Yeah.
hasn't really penetrated.
I didn't know if
Probably
there was
right
any
there.
because he was carving the body and stuff like that. I didn't know if there was any fur that was left on the ground and like that.
Well, there's I don't know where you guys put the skin of the bear.
Gray has it.
Gray has it all.
Well, we would put it.
We would have
on
put
top
it on
of,
him originally.
Yeah, you have it wrapped around.
Oh, did you
like
guys
a
put it
blanket.
on him
Yeah.
and then gave him the potion?
Yeah.
So there's literally a gross, disgusting, wet, bloody bear skin draped on you this whole time.
Okay.
Smells nice.
Yo, first light man.
I'm going to kind of
It's a weighted blanket.
I'm going to. I wave my hand over it and I'm going to test my prestidigitation. Prestidigitation, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard word. You're getting it close enough.
What does that mean?
Presentation.
Brigadier.
And I wave my hand over it and I'm going to attempt to light it on fire.
Yep, quite easily you run your hand across it and a small portion just ignites.
Okay.
Because it's quite flammable, but it goes out pretty quickly because of the dampness of
Burning
it.
hair.
It seems as if I've completely forgotten that from my, being knocked out and everything, that I can actually create fire if we need it.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm just gonna take a step back.
The reason why is because
Why did you ruin the bear skin?
Because this is a wet burning.
That smells awful.
We could
It
have used
does
that
sound
for
good.
warmth. Yeah.
It's not completely ruined. It's only a small patch.
Yeah, just mere singe.
It just
Anything.
halved the value. Anyway. So that's small blemish.
Alright. I think I was going to ask you something on the game, but I was actually going to ask is on the D&D Beyond, do you guys know where the cantrip thing is on D&D Beyond?
I don't know. Is there spells in there?
I was literally looking for cantrips
On D&D Beyond.
You can get an app.
I know I have it on there, but I couldn't see it. That's fine. Just a question.
Alright,
I
I'm gonna
use that
go
other
to
one
sleep.
for all of my spells.
I'm gonna bring Lona. It's time to go to sleep.
Are you guys discussing who is taking the next watches, or is
I'll just wake.
someone?
I'll wake somebody up
Okay.
next.
Is it okay if I don't take watch at all tonight? Me and it looks like I look over to Eerie. Does she look pretty beaten up?
Erie's near the fire, but she hasn't really sat up the whole time. She's like collapsed on the
Okay,
ground.
so she's like passed
She's
out.
already
Yes, that's
sleeping.
fine. I think
Just
I'll
as
take
if me and
second
Eerie need
watch.
to rest.
I'll take third.
Yeah,
So we're fine.
we're fine.
Fair.
We'll get some.
Come on,
After four,
Tenaculum.
people are pretty good.
I take Tenaculum and I put him against my belly.
Where's everybody
Just
resting?
looks cute.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
is everybody
just
just in the
chilling by the
fire?
fire.
Fire, fire, yeah.
I'll just go like squat down right next
During
to
my-
Worthington.
Yeah, in the lean-to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Me, you, and Worthington.
yeah.
Yeah, the three of you. So roll just quick animal handling check.
17
Still
plus
got
seven.
it.
Yeah, Worthington, he sniffs and he's sleeping the whole time, but he like, walks up and like wraps around you
Aw.
when he sits. He looks at you and just stares.
Offended.
Okay, just roll a quick perception check.
Yeah,
Very
during the 2 hours, I'll like do like every once in a while like a perimeter walk or
Yeah.
whatever. Ooh. Perception?
Yep.
12.
12. Again, like the snow, it just really kind of like messes with your mind, and even by the end of the 2 hours, you almost feel just exhausted
Mm-hmm.
with the sameness of everything, like the almost like the ill-defined landscape around
Right.
you. Like you can see the trees in your vicinity, and the fire is helping,
Mm-hmm.
but like as the light, it's not dark yet, but the light is slowly starting to like fade a little bit out of the sky. Everything kind of just becomes more blurry and more indistinct and more just white and bland and quiet. Because other than the crackle of the fire and the small breaths and snores of your companions, it's silence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the 2 hours, I'm going to kind of like very cautiously, because there's a wolf wrapped around him, like take my staff and like poke Knack to wake him up.
My turn.
Your turn.
Alright.
Worthington gets up and shakes.
And I'm like,
How big is Worthington?
He's the size of like a wolf. So
Like a full-grown wolf?
like a full wolf, not a dire wolf, but like a normal wolf size. So like just think like
But like
German
in
Shepherd.
comparison to Knack.
Oh, he's like half of. He's like
that's why I
half
like
of
use my
that
stick
height.
to like
Yeah.
poke him, because
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I would probably
He's
He's
pretty-
gonna be pretty
bug
big,
this
right?
Yeah, like he's like up to like Knack is like this tall and he's like right here.
Yeah, alright.
He's pretty high on
He's
Knack.
your steed.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna like put my bedroll out. I'm not gonna actually like, I'm gonna kind of like wrap it around me, and then I'm just gonna be like doing my trance.
Yeah, you never really lay on them.
I'm
You
just-
always lay it out and then sit on.
Yeah. And then I'm just like by the fire, just doing my meditating.
Yeah. Again, during your trance, you can feel the wind still pressing against your face, but it's transitioning more into like good memories than the
And I have taken my thing back as soon as we put the blanket,
Yes,
the
you mentioned
bear
that.
skin. I took my thing back, so I have that wrapped kind of like around
Yep.
my face to kind of keep the warm, like keep my face and neck warm.
Okay, so now you can roll perception.
Yeah, I'll walk around too, and I'll whisper whistle to see if Worthington will call me.
Yeah, based on we'll keep the
Whisper.
same animal handling, and Worthington will sometimes, about probably half the time, he will leave the lean-to where Eerie is, and Eerie is currently residing, and walk around with you when you
Okay.
do your laps.
Yeah.
We're part of his wolf pack.
Perception, you said?
Yep, perception.
What can I read this? 15.
15. So very similar to Willowa, the day continuously gets a little bit darker. Shadows begin to elongate, but even the shadows seem fuzzy. They don't. There's sharp, hard lines of a full sun. It's more of the weird blobby gray that accompanies like an overcast day. And again, even as you're even after the 2 hours, by the end you're just your eyes are straining to even make differences than anything outside of the fire's light. Yeah. But nothing happens. You hear nothing strange.
Okay. I'll walk back to the camp, and
Okay.
I'll search out Gray.
Right. And Gray is just, you can fairly easily, as soon as you're in the firelight, you can like almost immediately identify where everybody is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find Gray fairly easily.
As I approach him, does he look like still like a little roughed up from the fight, or is he looking like okay now?
Compared to everybody else, Gray didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
He's managed to kind of like beef himself up enough that he isn't too bad. But as per typical Gray, throughout your watch, you've noticed, both of you, that Gray startles awake every so often.
Okay.
And he never seems to get a full, that solid rest that he wants.
No
What
REM
about,
sleep.
Poor guy.
No.
Is there, I guess really quickly before I wake him, is there anybody else that still looks like just really, really bad?
I know Eerie and Lonan. Eerie is like her breathing finally has seemed to steady off into that proper sleep,
Right.
and Lonan seems to be approaching that levels, but there seems still pretty they're just hitting that at the end of your rest.
Oh, okay.
That you've noticed.
I'll
I'm not sure about Pippin. How is Pippin doing?
I'm kind of having a little shivery sleep.
So Pippin is a bit better than the others, I would
Okay.
say for sure.
I'll go to those two first. And I'll just I don't know, put a hand on each boot and I'll cast Cure Wounds on both of them.
Okay.
Just to maybe kind of you know.
Because you didn't use that many spells last.
I used one level 2 and one level 1.
Okay, yeah,
So,
you still have enough
yeah.
left. Okay.
And then I'll go.
So the breathing steadies and almost the two of you, you aren't quite dreaming a lot. You're just pretty restless because it's a very cold night, but you feel almost like a sigh of relief and a little bit of warmth as it feels almost like a fiery hand touches your leg.
Do I wake up?
Nope, you don't wake up. But it's you recognize you are not going to remember in the morning, but it's something that in your sleep, a dream, brights up into a sunny day for a minute.
Okay.
And then I'll go kick Gray's boot.
And almost like he wasn't asleep, his eyes just peel open.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's your turn. You can take the wolf with you if you want. I mean, I don't know if he'll go, but
I try to say, come.
Okay, just with your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll an animal hand
Natural
Oh,
20.
no.
Oh,
Funny.
Worthington, his ears perk up and he bounds through the snow
Good old
and
Worthington.
this loops around your
Tails
waist.
wagging.
Yeah, he's just ready. He runs over right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'll just fall over in Gray's spot and sleep there.
Okay, literally sit down in his bedroom.
Yeah.
so I guess I'll just walk around with Worthington and I'll kind of give it about a half hour just patrolling and everything, and then what I think I might do is just practice some swordsmanship.
Okay, so you can roll perception with disadvantage just because you were going to be doing some other things during your watch.
Okay. 9.
9. So by the time your watch is coming to an end, it's darkening. The light is almost gone in the sky. The sky has gone from a weird, a soft pastel gray, a light one, to almost a deep, boiling storm. As the snow and the wind are very similar as to what they were before. At least you think.
Mhm.
It's hard. It's getting hard to tell the difference of what things are, but the shadows have spread out, and the last lights of day are starting to creep away. As at the beginning when you were walking, you could still see, but now that you're close to the firelights, you can't really see anything outside of it almost at all anymore.
Okay. And then, who am I going to wake up next?
So you know that it was Willowa and Knack for sure, because you knew Willowa started and then Knack woke you up.
I will try to wake up.
And Willow actually awakens as well, so you can
Oh.
awaken at around when he's doing this.
Okay. It looks like either it's getting nighttime outside of the storm, or what do you think?
That'd probably be about right,
Mm-hmm.
given how many
It's
hours we were in
darker.
here.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go back to sleep for a bit.
Can I watch again?
You know that you aren't quite in the right mindset. You're as much as you already slept, you kind of
Yeah.
need that extra little bit to
Okay.
to kind of recuperate. You need to do something quiet, and watching is too it's too stressful. It's too
It's a-
Right.
too straining. That's the
Okay.
word. It's too straining.
Who should we wake up?
Can I look at the three and see who looks in the best shape?
They all look at this point. They look fairly similar. You guys are resting much more peacefully now that Knack gave you a little bit of healing. So they look. I would say they all look fairly
All the
on
same.
par.
Well, we did say we wouldn't wake those two, so I suppose
We'll
I'll
get
just
Pippin.
wake Pippin.
Okay.
You feel rested though when you awaken.
Alright. No problem. How was your watch?
Oh, mine was fine. Nothing special happened.
No.
I'll be kind of like awake with you. I'm just gonna be
Are
kind
you
of hanging out by the fire. Not really
are you doing well?
very well.
I'm glad. It's a little too cold if you ask me. You know, I didn't grow up. I moved to a city next to a desert and a tropical jungle, so
You're not really
I'm
used
not
to
really
this kind
used
of
to
weather.
this. The most snow I seen was on the mountains when I passed through them. But
I'm not awake.
You see Iria's head nod.
Yep.
This is
I
interesting.
know what that's about.
Yeah. And you've experienced a variety of different temperatures.
Being on the sea, I've experienced quite a bit. Not ever quite this cold, maybe, but
yeah, I forgot. I've never been at sea. Well, I did travel around a lot with my dad when I was younger, but we kind of moved between like coastal towns, not like far out to sea.
did you have a big family?
No, it was just me and my dad
Mm.
for as long as I can remember.
That's nice.
He's a really good inventor.
Oh, really?
You've heard of him? His name's Gilligan.
Gilligan.
Gilligan Foss.
Will I
You
heard
can
of
roll a
it
history
before?
check.
History. So 15.
No, you haven't really, in your experiences, don't really deal directly with people like that.
Mhm.
It's more like the intermediaries, like
Right.
you're trying to sell something, and
Right.
the person trying to sell it for them deals
Right.
with you or something like that.
He's a pretty famous inventor back before he left Paragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we came here to find some work. You know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he's alright. I miss him sometimes, but you know
Mhm.
how it is, right? Like, you miss your parents and then you visit them and you're like, I can't wait to leave.
I don't
Do you know
really
what I
know
mean?
what that's like, but
Oh.
I'm sure if I had a family, I would understand.
Oh.
Oh!
And I'm gonna be like,
You have to be awake with her alone for the next 2 hours.
well, yeah.
Gray, you haven't said you went to bed yet, so did you want to be awake for this conversation? Or?
No.
Okay, so Gray.
As soon as I sat down, I was just like curled up
Well,
a little bit.
you know-
kicking my legs sometimes.
Okay.
You know, Willowa,
I'm really glad you're okay.
that, I'm sorry that I mentioned that.
Oh, it's okay. I probably have a family. I just don't really remember them.
Oh, I thought you maybe, like, lost them or something.
In a way, I did. Like, my mind doesn't know who
Really?
my family is. My
That's
crew is
strange.
now like my family, but I don't think it's the same kind of relationship.
Your crew, I forgot you had a crew and a ship. Tell me something about someone on your crew.
My favorite person on my crew,
Sure.
his name's Billy.
Oh, okay.
And he is Genasi like me.
Oh, is
But-
that what you are?
Yeah.
I thought you were some sort of elf, to be honest.
Well, I do have pointy ears.
Yeah, I mean, I have little pointy ears.
I'm part elf.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am too.
I think so.
I'm not
That's why
sure.
we get along so well.
I guess. I can't. Can you speak Elvish?
Yep.
Really? I can't. Maybe you could teach me sometime.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm not. I never learned Elvish. My dad's not an elf.
Well, I mean, if you're not around Elvish people
Yeah.
that speak it, then it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't remember really being around people that were Elvish, but I know that I know the language, so
Yeah.
I must have been at some point in my life before my memory was taken.
That's really strange. Maybe we can look into that.
I've been looking into it for about, like 10, 15 years. Haven't found an answer yet.
10
though.
to 15 years.
She just takes a bite of bear meat.
Oh. Well, Willow, maybe we can be part of your crew too, one day.
If you like to sail
Oh, I
on
don't
the
know about-
ocean.
I meant like metaphorically.
Oh. Perhaps.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go walk my rounds and make sure everyone's okay.
I'll be here.
Thanks for the conversation. I'm gonna get up and be like,
That was a lot.
He's sweating, even though it's so cold.
yeah, and I'm gonna do my round.
Alright, you can roll a perception check. Ooh, I rolled a
18.
so almost monotonously. As the sun finally you imagine sets as the light completely fades from the day. The only things that is constant are the howling wind burning your face and the small flurries flying around you, as all but the small circle around the camp, where the fire like sheds its light, is lost to you.
Okay.
Sound, sight, smells, everything is just, the world is condensed to this small circle of your friends and the bodies of the animals you killed.
Okay.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
say
look
anything.
around. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna take the little broken pocket watch out of my bag and kind of look at it. Do walk around and then I'll close it.
And then around by the end of your watch, you guys slowly start to awaken. Eerie and Lonan, you guys will probably be some of the first. You've had some good undisturbed sleep. You feel a lot better.
Completely healed, I'm assuming?
Okay.
Lonan, you have a little bit of a chill
Right.
still in your bones, but you feel healthy again.
Okay. I don't feel any effects of like, do I feel like drained? Do I feel like, even though I've rested that long, I'm still really tired?
It's more like you feel that you remember being cold before, because obviously you're in like a middle of a snowy forest in the middle of a storm, but you feel a different cold. You feel like almost like it's still it feels like it's still inside you a little bit. A little bit of frost is like within your skin. Like it feels like when you take a breath, it feels like icy air.
Jeez, okay.
But you don't get any negative side effects from
Okay,
it.
yeah,
It's mostly
yeah.
just a feeling.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you shrugged off any of that chill that you had felt before,
Yeah.
because you had also been afflicted,
Yeah.
well, briefly,
Yeah.
by the curse that effectively knocked Lonan out. But your constitution allowed you to shrug it off.
Okay.
Is everybody awake at this point?
Yep, we'll just jump straight to the end of the long rest. Everybody is rested up. You've all spent enough time to get everything back.
Okay.
But we'll say everybody's kind of groggy, and it takes until everybody's awake to kind of everybody be coherent again. Well, we've just been doing stuff.
Just chilling.
Yeah, just wrong. We did both.
I pulled out a little bell. I've been ringing it, but nobody can hear it because it's broken.
Yeah. You can hear the sound.
I can.
You know what it sounds like.
And it's dark outside now?
It is. You guys awaken into
The darkness.
almost like a void
Okay.
around you. Just the light of the campfire. Even those with dark vision, the snow and the flurries that are still falling kind of obscures space.
Is it time? Is it time to head out now?
We should get going.
I think we should. How long will we
We're
stay
gonna
here?
travel overnight.
We need to speak about.
I don't like that idea. I'll be honest.
What's that? Traveling at night time?
Yes.
It is rather dangerous. However, now that we have an entire group plus a wolf, and I try to pet Worthington, does it?
Animal handling.
does
He's
it-
actually with Gray right now.
Yeah, I'll just
Still,
make sure,
yeah.
like, because I know that he doesn't really like me that much, but I'll just try to like touch his face.
Yep, you can roll animal handling.
Okay, that's not horrible. 14.
So it looks like when you reach your hand down, his lip like quivers a
Yeah.
bit, but you manage to pet his head,
Okay.
and he closes his eyes and
Allow
like,
it?
pushes into your hand.
I transfer
By
the
the end
frost
of
over
it.
to him.
Yeah, where there's a glasses.
Well, now that we have a group plus a wolf, it might be a little bit easier for us to travel. I appreciate you guys saving me, but now that we only have one bottle left, Pippin, is there a possibility that along our way that we can find more of this rare herbs? I know that you mentioned it was super rare, but
In the snow? How would
no,
we
not.
see
I'm
it?
not. I'm referring to possibly the next town. We need to be pretty cautious at this point, I think, right?
So we are reaching a town, and you're wondering if maybe there's an herbalist in the town?
Perhaps that, or are we going to be facing this issue in the future? What do we do if two of us and only one bottle is remaining?
Then we have to keep one of us warm
So,
and cure the other.
while traveling,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I'm not too sure exactly, but did you guys keep me next to the fire the entire time?
Yeah.
And was it exactly the same as the lady in the tavern?
It progressed, but that might have been because we were outdoors in the cold. She had frost growing on her, and what happened to you was the frost grew into like sheets of ice.
Let's imagine that this happens while we're on our travels.
Sure.
Do we stop, and how can we continue a fire while we travel back to a destination?
That's fair. I see
Yeah.
your point.
Do you understand what I mean? I don't believe that there's going to be we can't just make a fire every 10 feet until we get back. I don't know if that's going to
Well,
work.
that's why I think it might, as much as maybe all of us don't like to travel in the dark, I think the faster we can get to this town, the better for us.
I think that if we encounter a bunch of creatures that are trying to hurt us, I don't think that we should attack them. I think we should run. Do you guys agree with this?
Well,
I don't think I can outrun a bear.
I think we'll just
I
have to
don't
see
know
what
a
happens.
squirrel.
Especially in this weather.
I think we'll just have to
the
wait and
snow
see what
slows
happens.
us down.
And also, we could very easily get lost if we just start to run.
But do you see what I'm saying? If we go into another battle like we did last time, and we
But the thing is, we cannot
so
predict if we stay here, they could come and find us.
It's true.
No matter where, as long as we're in this forest, we're in danger.
So I had a discussion with this with Gray before we left the Anchor's Ridge Tavern. There's likely some source generating this magical winter, just based on the nature of it. I'm not sure what it is, but if we were to stop this relic or this person, whatever magical force is creating this winter, it might remove the curses on everybody. I'm not sure. That it might not, but that's our best guess right now because we only have one more of the Lydia's Blessing. So if we basically can only afford to have one more person be cursed. From what we can tell from the fight, it seemed like you were cursed when you passed out. So if we all try to keep each other up, that might be useful. That's the best that we can do, I think.
I'm unfamiliar with each and everyone's ability here, but how many of you can even heal? I know for myself, I only gain myself.
We did discuss this prior to sleeping last night about what our game plan was for the next time if we still happen to come into contact with someone based on our abilities.
So, we've determined that Nak and Willowa can use fire magic, which seems to be more effective on them. Healing, I can heal, but I actually didn't prepare any healing spells today. I do have a health potion. I know Gray can heal. And
I can heal myself only, but
That's-
only like temporarily.
That's something.
So kind of you, Will.
All I got.
Anyway, I mean,
Better than some other people.
we can sit here and discuss all night, but
Yeah, I
I
don't really-
think my vote is to stay here for the night. I mean, normally I can see at night, but with the snow I can't see. You know, like it's just I think traveling is going to be very dangerous, and we won't know if anything's coming until it's upon us.
I thought the
Well,
agreement
it's-
was we would sleep during the day and go at night. That's why we all slept. How come we
Well,
didn't?
people needed to sleep. I don't think
Yeah,
that
we
was
had
an option.
to. Yeah, we had to sleep,
But that's my vote. I don't know. I say we
Well-
stay for the night, and then
really, we just have to take a vote if we're gonna leave now or we're gonna stay and wait out the night. The only kind of worry about waiting is that we're prolonging our time in the forest and prolonging the chance of us coming against more creatures in the forest before we can reach the town and this island that we're trying to get to. But we just have to vote and just kind of go with it. Whatever happens, happens.
I vote
So-
that we go because I think the longer we're in here, the more risk that we'll encounter ice creatures that could curse us.
Let's take if you would like to stay, raise your hand.
Wes?
Well, looks
If you'd like to travel through the night,
Impasse.
Gray, wake up.
I'm indifferent. I don't.
You don't really care either way. Well, I
think
mean,
we have to make a decision.
we've
either
made
way.
the decision then because 4 of us voted that we're gonna go.
okay. Well, I'll go first because I'll have to travel at my pace as well, which is going to be significantly slow tonight. So.
Well, you were gonna be at the front.
You also
anyways.
need to be digging a path for us with your shovels. So.
Oh yes. Even slower.
And I also
So what is our
Even slower.
walking?
It is Knack,
Are we doing a single line, or are you guys going to do
I would
twos,
do like pairs.
threes?
I would do pairs as well.
I'd be up there with that.
I'm gonna stay up ahead because I have dark vision anyway, so that's fine.
The dark vision will be effective, but the flurries are also
Sure.
obscuring your view.
Well,
Do you want me to roll to see if I can see? it?
It's kind of like diminishing
Okay,
how
so-
far
sure.
it gives it. Yeah.
so Knack and Gray are at the front, then Lonan's behind him with who?
I'll stay beside Lona.
Oh,
Okay, you can. This doesn't
I was
matter.
gonna say me. I
Okay.
have dark vision as well.
I also have dark vision.
Okay, so it doesn't matter then.
Yeah, it doesn't
Either one or not.
I'm gonna be in the back. I
I'll
already
scoot
knew
in front of
that.
you.
I'm gonna be in the back because I have the fire magic, so it's helpful for me to be in
Yeah,
the back.
so the
for
fire
that
magic
reason.
in the front and back,
Yeah.
and then
Pippin, I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever taught Tenaculum to hold anything? Perhaps he can stay ahead of us with like a torch on him and give us a little bit of leadway. Is that a possibility, or is
I don't think.
I can just cast lights.
well,
So
well,
we
Do you
can
want to?
see.
And I'm gonna take Tenaculum. Can you cast light on Tenaculum?
Yeah, if we want to put it on Tenaculum.
I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with this.
How is it?
I cannot wait to see.
All right.
How's Tenaculum dealing with the cold?
So I'm gonna touch him, and that will last for an
He's
hour.
no longer squishy.
he's a snow globe now. You
Yeah.
shake him, and there's a little like glitter frost inside.
So
of it.
you cast light. So Tenaculum, he's already like slightly transparent.
Yeah.
So when he's glowing, you can basically see through him like he's like a big like water balloon, and he's gonna inflate, and I'm gonna throw him up, and he'll start floating in the air like a big chubby.
Ahead of us?
Cool.
Yeah, and he's like so he'll be like above us and ahead of us like a big glowing light.
And he will actually be able to move faster than you guys. So it's not because
What's his movement speed though?
he's unimpeded by the terrain,
by the terrain.
like you guys are. So his flying speed is faster than.
What
you
is
guys
our
will be.
current movement speed in the snow?
You guys have to move at max speed, so
Which
you
is?
guys,
So at 25, but
Okay.
we're probably also slowed by the fact that we have to shovel.
and
Well,
it's just the snow in general.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you have to shovel
You
yet
don't
because you
have
guys
to
are
really
able to
shovel.
walk
Oh, okay.
currently.
So realistically, what's our speed? Like if I'm
A
25,
slow
20?
pace. A
Does
slow
he-
pace.
what's slow pace?
10,
Like-
15?
How does it work though?
Oh, you're talking not per round.
Tenaculum?
This is like per
Yeah,
hour.
because we're not
No,
doing
no,
per
no,
minute.
yeah,
Yeah, because per round is only for combat.
Yeah, yeah.
And you guys have different speeds.
How does it
during
work
combat.
with Knack shoveling while he's walking?
We're not gonna have like.
Yeah, you're not shoveling.
Not yet, but I'm saying in the future. Like,
We'll see when it get there.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would like affect his strength. at all.
Tenaculum can only fly at a speed of 20 feet.
30 feet.
20 feet. His flying speed is 30. Oh, his flying speed is 30. You're right. His
I
walking.
just looked it up.
Yeah,
20
30.
feet, 20 feet.
20
His
feet.
flying
30.
speed is 30 feet. Oh, sorry, 30 feet.
Yeah.
Well done, Nick.
Thanks. My name is Pippin Fox.
Yeah. Sorry, who's Nick again?
So you guys can continue. Start
Not a potion.
traveling. You guys only have one shovel,
Is
though,
he drinking
correct?
potions again?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because like explorers packs don't have shovels. Can someone?
No.
Shall we head off then? Now that we have this amazing ability, Willow, I commend you for this. It's very nice.
It's
With
just
the light,
a little light.
is it just normal light, or do you want it to be like Tenaculum blue?
I'm gonna have it like his color. Yeah.
So it's like a blue light casting these almost like eerie-looking shadows of like.
How far off does it give us? So is it just give us our natural distance then? I guess.
I don't know what
It's,
the light spell gives.
It should be 30 and 30.
So then that
No.
20 feet.
So that I would regain my full.
Yeah, so you have
dark
the
vision?
20 feet area in front of you guys, and it's I'm just imagining it's right in front of.
So
them.
so it's 20 feet and then an additional 20 feet.
So
of
40
dim.
feet.
So 40 feet.
Yeah, the dim light. It's again you can see, the light's there, but the flurries are like
Yeah.
obscuring anything outside of it. So it's giving you guys a decent area to see from.
Well, upon casting this, is this going to be something that we need to stop every hour and then recast, or is it? Will this?
I mean, I have to touch him to cast it, but it doesn't take me long. It's pretty.
Oh.
It's just like I
You can
touch him.
just fly down and she can go.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we don't.
Yeah.
We can stop if needed.
Yeah.
Don't,
For sure.
don't worry, Lona. We've got this. Just keep on trekking through the snow.
Okay. I'll start walking.
Okay,
ahead
so
with
it's Nat. So I thought it was Knack and Gray,
And then me and Lona.
Knack. And me. Yeah.
and then the ladies in the back.
And I'm gonna grumble as we're walking, like, of course they put the women in the back.
The back of the bus.
And stop through, because I
Well,
wanted to be.
I
the
chose
other
to be
end.
back here. I like it.
Yeah. Well, when her
You guys
winter
get to
garments and
walk
how
in all of our
matches your
footprints.
color scheme perfectly
Yeah.
still. I don't know why Orca had it, but like it works. So as you guys are walking, it's the snow already is around at the shortest. It's at max shins, so it's probably only around. It's not too high on all of you guys. It's about it's a little bit past your ankles.
Okay.
But as you guys walk, the first hour, it's the snow and the wind is fairly similar, but the snow you notice is starting to get deeper.
Okay.
After about 4 hours of walking, the snow is already up to the normal height of probably Pippin and Erie's knees, as the wind is picking up and the snow starts falling harder and harder. And the dark of the night is just getting more suffocating, because as much there's the light, but the snow is like, it's almost like driving with high beams on. The snow, like the light from Tenaculum is like reflecting off the snow and making it hard to see.
Continue on.
And now, so it's up to your knees. Knack, it is like up to your waist at this point.
Wow,
Knack is like
so
pushing
cold.
hard.
I'm going to like lock arms with Pippin, and I'm going to help him like kind of get over the like stumps, or not the stumps, but the, you know.
I was like, did you lose your arms?
Yeah.
The stumps of my arm.
Is this having any effect on my energy? Like in terms of.
You guys are dressed well enough, but you are starting to feel a chill as like the snow, as you're walking through it, it melts
Right.
and kind of gets your clothing wet.
Yeah.
But you're not feeling any negative side effects yet.
So I guess not from the cold though, but I mean in terms of like normally 8-hour travel per day is kind of considered. Anything outside of that you become exhausted, right? So
Yeah.
is this kind of using like 1.5 time, or is it?
It's
normal?
using normal energy, but you're
Okay.
moving at half the speed.
Okay.
At this point, though, it is after the 4 hours. It is getting hard for you, Knack, to even. You guys have like slowed to almost a stop because Knack is having to like shovel like so much just to even move like a foot.
Okay.
We should have brought the donkey.
Where's Worthington? Worthington.
Worthington is like they hear like a boom, and you see his head pop out of the snow off to the right.
Oh.
Do we?
And he'll like climb on top and like pat his
Knack,
head
are you
away.
sure that you know which way you're going? As we're like kind of like trying
I
to see
can't
this.
not see anything. I have
Yeah,
no idea where
me
we're
either.
going.
Do we know if we're going the right way? Have
I
we-
was following the light of Tenaculum.
Tenaculum just like floats, and you see his eyes like go into his body and appear on the other side, and it's like he's just kind of like bobbing in the air.
Who had the map again of our area that we were in? I forget.
Just hold on. I'll check something. Tenaculum. And then Tenaculum's gonna float down, and I'm gonna grab Tenaculum, and then I'm gonna have him use his buoyancy self. So he kind of like squirts all over me, this like slime, and then I'm gonna start
and
to,
he squeezes it, it's just like
Oh.
and I'm gonna hold him, and I'm going to like float into the air with him, and I'm gonna try to go above the trees to see if I can see anything.
okay.
So it's slow. I only have a 10-foot flying speed,
How
but
long
it's
does it last?
10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna fly up with Tenaculum.
So he like Mary Poppins his
Yeah.
way with Tenaculum above him.
I think like I tie a rope around him like a balloon.
He just floats, and he doesn't even say what he's doing. You just like look, and
He just
Pippin,
goes, hold
Pippin
on.
in the light just
Yeah.
floats away.
Yeah, one
So you guys are
moment.
left in this like pitch darkness.
Yeah, I'm gonna crouch down and kind of just like try to use my core body temperature to
Yeah.
warm me a little bit.
So I want to float above the tree line and see if I can see anything.
So because of the darkness and the heavy cloud cover, you guys are only like not that far into the night yet. It's really hard for you to see.
I have dark vision.
Yeah, only out to a certain distance,
Uh-huh.
right? So you can see the flurries in the snow and like the brief tops of trees around you, but you can't see past like the 60 feet you have.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then I'll lower down.
yeah. You can imagine that it might work in the day, but right now it's a bit too dark.
And then I'll land. It's too dark and stormy. And then I just wipe all the stuff off my face.
And it absorbs into your skin.
Yeah.
Sorry, you came back
Pippin
down.
looks to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Pippin, perhaps you should tell us next time you decide to fly away like
I did. I said one moment.
how are we supposed to know if we're
From
going to
low name.
It was very
I
slow.
was thinking right away.
Yeah, it was very slow. Like I slowly lifted up. Like it's only 10 feet movement. I was just like.
Remember when you found the wolf and said nothing and just ran away?
Just ran away.
But remember
Or
when
every
I...
time
we
remember
did
when we
that?
got into the town where,
Yeah.
and you just ran through it.
Sprinted.
But would Worthington have survived if I didn't make that
Guys,
haste decision?
I'm really cold. What are we gonna do?
Maybe not travel at night.
Speaking of Worthington, you guys can see him on like he's like Knack is like in the middle of the snow. It's like up to like right here around him, but Worthington's like laying on top of the snow, like licking Knack's face.
I'm gonna start digging. I can't remember, basically a house out of the snow for me.
Oh,
I'm just gonna like
You just
yeah.
Pippin,
Yeah.
how how would it be? Would Tenaculum survive if we possibly set him on fire?
No.
I'm just curious. I'm sorry. I'm just
No.
trying to find out if.
But I can always make another tenaculum.
Because my question is let's just say hypothetically we have him go ahead of us and melt the snow while we walk through it. Basically, he's going to leave a path for us to walk through.
I don't know how long he'll last on fire.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm just
I
curious.
don't know how far that will get us.
He's also made out of like gelatin. I'm not sure. I think that would just hurt him. I don't think he can generate enough heat to melt the snow in front of us. Good idea though. And then I'm gonna look at you.
And it is like
Perception.
What? Oh, perception? Sure.
Yeah, I think Knack needs a hand.
16.
Okay, so, again, you can't see very far around you. The sounds are all muffled by the snow. All you notice is, like, Knack is, like, building this house, and, like, Worthington is, like, just putting around on the top of the snow. Like, his feet are sinking in a little bit, but he's distinctly, like, he almost looks taller than Knack right now. He looks like he has really long legs, because you can't see his feet, because they're dipping into the snow, but he's, like, way taller than he should be.
I think we should agree to stay. Knack, you might have been correct the entire time, but at least we traveled, right? That's the way of thinking of it.
I hope we weren't heading
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah, or like in a circle for 4
I was
hours.
trusting that perhaps Tenaculum knew where to go, but
Why would Tenaculum know where to go?
we were following. I thought we were following Knack, but Knack thought that we were following
Well,
Tenaculum.
Tenaculum was ahead of me, so I just went in that direction.
Tenaculum is just, like, bouncing
Yeah.
on the ground. He's, like, in his, like, wooden form, and he's just, like, almost
We,
like a beach
we
ball.
didn't discuss this prior to leaving.
So we had nowhere. We don't even know where we were going in this frosty storm. Seems as if.
I hate this.
I mean,
Okay, well.
should we just try to continue on?
No.
No, I don't think going any further is an option. Knack is rather tired.
Can anyone, like, does Worthington know where Worthington?
He looks over from looking, like, Knack's face is like he licked all the snow out of your beard.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
my
have,
beard
like,
isn't
any
gelled back.
piece of clothing from Mala, the woman we helped? Maybe he can track the town for us?
Are we heading back in that direction?
No, we're heading to the town that she's from.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you're asking a lot for a wolf that we
Doesn't-
found yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a wild animal,
Where's
really.
Tim?
We must be really bad if I'm starting to sound irrational.
Well, I think that we don't know where we are right now, so perhaps it'll be better in the morning. I
Alright,
think that's yeah.
Oh yeah.
so we'll stop for the night.
I'm going to use my bow staff to kind of like, I'm just kind of like trying to make myself like a circle in the ground, like dig through the snow to like the earth.
It's challenging
Yeah.
with
Because I don't
the.
have a shovel.
Yeah, so Knack, you built a little. In this time, everybody's talking.
You're
Knack
like a blender.
hasn't stopped
Yeah.
digging, so he has like a little like how big? Like we'll say like it can fit maybe 2 people in this like round, and he's built a tiny igloo,
So I've gone like
a
off,
shitty igloo.
I've gone kind of like off the path to like a fresh patch of snow
Okay.
and kind of like made myself. What is the word I'm looking for? What do they dig in war? Where they like dig into
A
the-
trench.
not a trench,
A foxhole.
a foxhole.
Oh, okay.
I make myself like a snow foxhole, and then I want to use my bedroll, put it over the top of it, so it's kind of just like I'm sealed in.
Yeah.
And
So as you lay your bedroll over top, the howling wind is kind of like way lessened on you.
Yeah.
And as much as you're like surrounded by ice, you can feel a little respite from the
I'm
elements.
just kind of like curled.
It's not comfortable.
No,
It's not comfortable, but
I just want protection from the elements. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm assuming no one has wood to build a fire.
you guys could look around as you've been traveling. You've been slowly noticing, especially with the level of the snow. You can see some of the trees starting to bow, and you can see like, as you're coming close to them because you don't have a lot of light. You can see like splintered and shattered branches fall into the ground as like the weight of the snow and the fast flash freezing of the ice
Okay.
has like destroyed the trunks and the branches.
You know,
I'll probably just sleep, like, kind of like go under one of those
Yeah.
fallen trees just to hide from the wind.
this is really difficult, but I think that if the snow keeps getting higher, we might be getting closer to the source of this. That's the only silver lining I can find in this
I was agreeing
situation.
with that.
I'd like to peek out and be like, if anyone would like to share my hole, they're welcome.
And I'm gonna crawl on the top of the snow and just go into her.
Just because body warmth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna scoot in. I was like, Tenaculum. He's gonna go.
And then
He seals the exit.
I will just kind of like close as I can.
Okay, and we'll hug each
We'll
other.
hug each other.
And then your bedroll's on top, but Pippin's is wrapped around both of you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because you guys are both, like, you guys are the smallest ones.
Yes.
So you're basically just like the size of like large children.
Yes.
This is awful.
Yeah. I hate it.
I hate it.
I'm gonna go gather a few of those like twigs, the twigs that you said fell, just like a handful maybe, or maybe I don't know.
They're like frozen.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll grab whatever I can.
If you want to roll survival, you can see if you can find anything that might be salvageable.
Sure.
I just realized because you're also the two that are from like the tropical jungle desert climate.
14.
We are,
Yeah.
14. You managed to find a small handful of salvageable wood that isn't like frozen solid.
Okay.
But you know what to make it. It can probably make a really smoky fire, but it'll at least be something.
I'm gonna bring it back to Erie, and well, I don't even know if I noticed Pippin go in there. Erie, is there any room in there for a possible little fire for you?
Not as is. It's essentially just big enough for two people to huddle in. At
You
the
can,
time.
as you look in, you see them just like basically their cheeks are like pressed together, and
Yeah.
they're like they can't even move.
Okay.
So, if you would like to expand the size of the hole,
I don't want to put a fire in here. We have a little roof.
yeah.
Go make a fire with Knack.
Okay.
And then if they make a fire, we can punch a hole in the side
Yeah.
and like make
Yeah.
ourselves a window. That
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fine, I'll walk over to where Knack is. Knack, sorry, do you have any room in there for one more person and possibly a fire?
I mean, yeah, like person, yes, but not a fire, no.
Oh.
The fire needs to be ventilated and outside in order to work. And if it
Sorry,
was-
are you talking to us over
Yes,
there?
the fire would need to be ventilated. And
They're
outside
not
to
that
work.
far.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah, you
okay.
guys are like fairly close.
It
Okay.
would need to be on the path because it needs the air to breathe, and also it would melt the inside of our igloos if we had it inside.
Right. Well, I'm gonna just come in then without making a fire then. Hopefully we can stay nice and warm. I do have the supplies if we do decide to make one though.
Sure, sounds good.
Lil and Gray, what are you two doing?
I'm like underneath some like collapsed trees,
Okay.
like you know, like one that has like a little kind of like spot that I could kind of like shimmy into.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
just have like my bedroll around my shoulders, and I'm just like chilling.
Okay.
Just gonna look for a tree, kind of move some snow away from there, kind of go underneath and just kind of like
You could be the same
let
tree.
that roll, and just kind
Like,
of like sit there.
You're like under the bent bow of it, and like
Mhm.
Max under the crown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Max, I mean Gray.
Great.
Okay. So
Once
no
I-
one's keeping watch.
Well,
are you guys
no.
just?
Oh!
So, hang on, once I have
Okay.
our area dug
We
out,
forgot about
like, so like
that.
a little circular area, I'm gonna go to like
We're
one
like
of the walls.
degenerating.
And I'm gonna dig out just enough room for like me to sit in, but I'm gonna dig it up so there's a hole. And I'm just gonna like sit in there with my head stuck out,
No.
just like
Submarine,
swivel around.
huh?
So okay, so Knack, no one else is keeping watch.
I,
but Knack,
I wouldn't be.
That was
surprised
after
if
the.
Have you guys ever-
no one said they were sleeping, but you
Yeah.
guys are kind of like in your own area.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of the Donner Party? Because I feel like this is
Yeah.
rapidly progressing.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking of. I was
Oh
like,
my god!
I
yes.
was like, this is like the Oregon,
The Oregon
Trail.
Trail, yeah.
Someone's
The
gonna
Donner
get
Party.
dysentery.
We're just gonna start eating each other.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, Knack, you can roll.
Perception.
Yep.
Okay.
And are you guys taking a long rest? What are you guys doing?
I'm just trying to not be.
I don't think I can
physical
sleep
for
at
the
this
rest
point.
of
We've
the
already
day.
slept for like 20 hours.
20? Okay, so the howling of the wind is worse than it was last time you were resting. But slowly, as you guys are, I imagine you guys are just
Hanging out.
chilling,
We're
just trying to stay
keep
warm.
Mm-hmm.
But over the course of a few hours, like probably another 4, light begins to finally penetrate the clouds above. And the world it's still dark, but it's less a pitch blackness and more of like gray everywhere around you with snow flurries everywhere. So you guys can see again, but it's nothing near clear. And this is after about 4 hours. So you guys can you guys get a short rest, but if you
Yes.
want to continue going, like what do you guys want to do?
I'll take a short rest, I guess.
Yeah.
So happens after 4 hours.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to continue resting? What do you guys want to do?
It is light now.
If it's
the
light
light
now.
the light is coming into the world, and it's just lighting up, but it has this gray.
Is
You-
it still blizzarding?
Yes.
I'm gonna yell out to Pippin, hey, do you wanna fly up atop again?
I guess.
Take a little peek.
And then I'm gonna
Right?
kind of climb out of our foxhole in the snow, like shivering and like wrapping my bedroll around me, and then I'm gonna like Tanaculum, and I'm gonna
Oh.
grab him and kind of rub him all over my body
I'll eat a ration.
Okay.
till I have all of his levitation salve on me, and then I'll be like, Then I'll slowly rise up into the trees.
Okay. And so as you go up, it's still gray and there's a lot of like snow and flurries around you, but you can see around. It's just kind of like treetops and collapsing trees.
Can I see the coast anywhere?
Not yet.
I'm gonna go higher.
Okay. So how high do you want to go?
I'm gonna.
You only have like 10 minutes of it, right?
How long did it take me to get to the top of the trees?
Not that long. The trees aren't crazy high. It would probably
Yeah.
only take you about a minute max to get over the trees.
Because I can move 10 minutes. I can move 10 feet every 6 seconds.
Okay.
So I'm going to continue higher.
Okay.
I'm gonna say maybe I'm gonna go like 60 feet above the tree line.
Okay. So that only takes you like 2 minutes to get. Roll a perception check for me.
Nick.
You're blind.
I rolled an 8.
So it looks the same around you. It's hard to tell. You can maybe guess that the way you're going might have heavier snowfall, maybe, but you're having a hard time.
Goodness. Alright, I'm gonna lower myself down, and when I land, I'm gonna look at everyone and go, I have no idea.
Do we just continue on then? It's rather.
Aren't some of you better at like this sort of thing? I don't have any survival experience.
I'm perhaps could try, and I'm going to. Is there a tall tree nearby?
Roll a just quick perception first.
18.
18. You notice some that might hold your weight, but you're not really familiar with the ice and
No.
snow, so you're not sure if it was the nap, like some of the other ones that you can see around
I
you.
will try
Okay.
to climb it.
Okay, roll a dexterity check.
While she's doing that, can I try to
Oh.
discern direction?
9.
Roll a survival. 9. So you're able to, with struggles, and like sometimes you fall and almost fall out of the tree with snapping twigs, but you managed to get to the top.
Okay.
9.
9. You were just as turned around as Pippin is.
9.
Guys, I just thought we could just walk straight and then it would just be right in front of us.
Clearly.
I'm just going to be taking a look-see around. What do I see?
Roll another perception. Ooh.
17.
You can distinctly see that maybe from like slightly to the right of the tree, from like you are going the direction slightly to the right, you can see distinctly that there is the snow gets denser, like the snowfall is denser in that direction.
That direction. Okay.
Like you can distinctly tell, and you can see that even some of the trees are more collapsed. There's less like full standing trees in that direction.
Okay. So I go back down. Okay, so ahead and to the right, it seems to get worse.
So that's probably where we should
So
go.
I would assume that that is closer to the source. I mean, I have a theory that perhaps that is the town, because if she came from the town and she was afflicted, perhaps the town is in that area and that's where this curse is coming from.
Mhm.
Because the last town we were in was cursed by the Lugeist. But I can't be sure, I'm not. But it does get worse ahead to the right unless...
I think it's only logical that we just, if we want to go to where this curse started, that we go where the weather
We
is
are
the worst.
trying to stop it. I mean, the sooner we get there, the better. We're just getting more worn and worn down.
Yes.
Gray, did you keep any of the food?
Yeah, no one said they collected
No.
bear meat.
No.
You
I
ate.
have,
You aren't hungry yet because you guys are kind of on a weird schedule now, but you ate yesterday.
I mean, I have that bear pelt still, so that's good.
Alright, so we have no food. Let's hope the town is there. Do any of you have any gods? Please pray to your respective deities. And let's keep moving.
Okay, so same order as before.
Yep.
Yep,
And
I'll
we-
help Knack shovel.
Okay, so you guys are still gonna try to shovel through.
You can take turns.
Yeah.
It's very slow going.
Actually, so I'll use a shovel and I'll give Gray my shield. And maybe he can kind of like scoop with my shield. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you guys go, even just after this hour, the snow deepens considerably, and
Is
after about what?
No, sorry, continue. I need to...
No, what do you want to ask?
I was gonna say, is it at all can we walk on it, or do we have to go through it?
Um,
Is it...
you guys have all
easy?
noticed that like Worthington has been walking on the snow like
But I
all
know
night.
he's not as heavy.
You can try.
I'd like to try to climb up the side and like see what happens if I try to walk on the surface of the.
Okay, so after the first hour, as Knack is like, it's almost up to like your like shoulders, and you guys like it's up to around your waists at this point, probably a bit higher. You struggle on top of the snow, and your feet sink back down to your ankles, and it's hard to walk, but Eerie is distinctly on top of the snow now.
What?
I'm just like, why you guys?
Problem.
After seeing Ear do this, I'm gonna attempt to do the same.
I'm
Yep.
also pretty light.
Yeah, Lonan, you can try. Do roll dexterity. Just like, Eerie's more dexterous. No, never mind. Lonan, you're fine. You can get on top of the snow.
I rolled
fine.
a 20 anyway.
Yeah, you're fine.
Like, I rolled a 17.
You can get on top, and you sink a little bit deeper. It's still down to around like maybe like half an inch, no, 2 inches up past your ankle, but it's distinctly better than
Then
almost
go-
at your waist. Yeah.
Hey, Gray, give me a boost.
I'll try to.
So you roll strength, you roll dex.
Okay.
The good old throw. Kinda like you.
Nope.
No.
No.
Wait, what am I
No,
rolling?
no,
Roll
I'm
strength.
not good.
Don't even roll.
I got a strength. That's gonna be a 18.
So Gray pushes Knack up over the. What did you roll?
And that one.
Oh.
Your third not one today.
You just
Get rid of
fall
those dice.
Yeah.
So he throws you over top, Knack, and as you like flail over, you kind of like land on your back and sink a foot into the snow.
Oh.
Not all the way to the ground, but a foot in. So like,
I should
have made
attempt to stand.
snowshoes.
it takes you a minute, and now you're covered in snow, but you are on top. You sink almost down to your knees just because you're so dense compared to everybody else, but you're still, and you're wearing quite a bit of armor.
You think?
You're thick bee.
Dummy thick.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but you are still. It's better than what it was before.
I'm gonna just go up
You're fine.
too.
Yeah, you don't even have to do anything.
Can't roll stealth because it's
Should I
ass clap.
I'm just gonna pull myself up.
So you sink a similar depth down that Knack is, so it's about up to your, it's a little bit below your knees.
Okay.
So it's gonna be hard for the two of you guys to kind of trudge.
But perhaps less than.
But the other four of you guys are much lighter. Even though Willow, you're like the tallest of the bunch. You're not as heavy as them. You guys don't wear as heavy as armor. You guys are okay.
This is silly.
So maybe you can walk in our footsteps.
I don't know. I'm gonna try something quickly.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a reasonable amount of gold
Okay.
and try to make a pile of snowshoes. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe cheating this a bit, but
Make
Okay.
them. You know how like a mold, how they're all connected. And you
Yeah.
snap the pieces
yeah,
off.
yeah.
You mix them so
Yeah.
they're all one.
Yeah, like you master do so. Let's
Right from
Yeah.
China. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, where?
Right from the coast of Asia. I don't know.
It's not even on the map.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay. I will say. You know what? Knack, roll a Arcana check. Roll Arcana.
Okay.
Better?
19.
19. Okay. So I will say it only costs.
4,000.
Did you make any snowshoes yet? Did you make any last?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Snowshoes.
So you. It only costs you 18 gold total.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Only.
But they're like they're snowshoes. Actually, wait.
And
Are they
I
like
have
No,
No.
sorry, 9 gold total.
Oh,
My
okay.
apologies.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I was over.
You doubled
overpriced
it.
Yes, because that would have been for full cold weather gear, but you're only trying to make snowshoes, so you're not making fancy metal jackets for everyone.
What are they?
Well, here's snowshoes for everybody.
How do you make it? What it look like?
How
So
long does
Knack-
it take?
Yeah.
An hour.
Okay.
So you have to tell us. We
Yeah.
just walk away.
I did. I said I'm gonna try something.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, he did say that to the group.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
I
it.
will just be.
And Knack is in
eating
front, so
rations.
unless you guys walk around Knack, who just sat in the snow.
I'll just be perceptive waiting.
I'm going to be eating a ration and just kind of resting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the hour, somehow there's wood in this. Like, no idea. He put gold down, and the end product is like a wooden thing with like.
What did it look like?
I'm describing it right now.
Like the process.
I'm in the
Oh my
middle of
God.
describing it.
What does it
What's
look
it look like?
Well, he's like, here's snowshoes.
Yeah, I'm describing the snowshoes.
Okay.
So at the end, They're like all like snapped together. But there's the wooden classic hoop horseshoe shape with metal brackets along the sides that connect these like I don't know. You guys are all like kind of baffled because this like ratty looking like leather that somehow Knack made throughout this process. From just pure gold coins, he turns it into wood, metal, and leather.
Impressive.
Is it like solid gold or like gold plated?
It's less. This one would turn into more of an iron, so there's not actually any gold.
Yeah.
The most gold thing is like the wood has a little bit of a gold sheen to it,
Okay.
but it's distinctly gold. And you make 6 pairs.
Alright.
This
Well,
is
Slide
very,
these babies on.
Here's snowshoes for everybody.
I
Um,
suggested this days ago.
It was a little expensive, so just maybe down the road at some point.
I pull out my,
I'll just give you a
and I give you some gold. I give you 3 gold pieces.
Oh, very nice.
I only gave you one.
I'll
Thank
give him
you,
a
thank
pat
you.
on the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good
Keep
job,
up the
bud.
good work.
Yeah.
I'll
I gave
look
you
at the
one.
snowshoes.
Merci.
Yeah. What's the quality?
They, as always, anything Knack makes, it looks very ratty. It looks like as soon as you put it on, it might disintegrate. The wood looks a little beaten. Even though he just made it and the wood came out of nowhere, it looks like it's been used for 50 years.
Interesting
Got
trick.
dry rot all over it.
Yeah, but Knack, to you, ooh boy.
He's just,
Snowshoes?
he's just trying to make money off it. He's like, yeah, it cost me about 50 gold.
Alright, now please, let's go to this town. I'm so cold.
Okay.
Hopefully the town is in this direction.
So after the discoveries of being able to walk on the snow, did you make any for Worthington now?
No.
He's
Worthington's fine. He's pretty light compared to all of you. He's like jumping around. He like dives. You know that like that fox dive, and he
Yeah.
like gets stuck, but he wiggles his way out. Yeah, but you know he manages to get out always, and he's not necessarily around you guys. He runs off and manages to find his way back to you guys fairly often. But it's still hard for you guys to trek because now you notice that you're almost on an incline as the snow just gets deeper and deeper. It's very like slight, but you're definitely walking uphill a little bit. And after another 4 hours of walking, you guys, the trees around you are almost just small, like you can almost see the tips of them from where you are in the snow. The snow is getting that deep. You can, some of those trees you might even be able to like brush your hand across the crown of like an evergreen.
Wow.
But at the end of the 4 hours, let's say everybody roll a quick perception check. The lights continues to get ready. Ooh.
My rolls are
14 for me.
20?
12.
19.
6.
Anyone who rolled over 15 will notice that the snow and the wind, the more you walk, the wind gets harsher and more biting. Some of you guys are just too caught up in the movement to notice, but the snow is getting heavier and heavier and your vision is getting smaller and smaller and smaller just because the density of the snow is starting to block off the areas around you. But the light is enough now that you have an idea of where things are, but like you're almost walking through like a mist almost.
Can you
the
start to
effect.
feel like if I walk this way, it's getting harsher, and if I walk this way, it's getting
You
lighter?
notice over the course of the 4 hours that it's getting distinctly harsher and harsher and harsher. And by the end, you see, you start to see, you rolled a nat 20, correct? So Willoway, you see off to your right, a different shape kind of jutting out of the top, and it's almost like a jagged shard of ice. Thicker than a tree. This is jutting out, and it's taller than you guys still, but jutting out of the snow. And that's actually where we're going to take our break. for today.
Breakdown.
There's ice in the snow.
Very nice.
Okay,
Very
so we will be
nice.
back in
We'll be back.
10 minutes, guys.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back. See. Welcome back, everybody.
Yay!
Woo!
We found Worthington.
You guys push this table really far forward. Okay. So, as you guys approach, it's been a few hours of grueling work. The winter storm is almost, it seems like an apex swirling around all of you. Willowa notices a tall spire of ice jutting out of the ground to you guys' left as you're walking forward.
I'm gonna start like kind of quicken my pace a little bit and point and say, guys, do you see that up over there?
It's not that far. It's
Point
only
to it.
maybe 100 meters
Yeah, I'm
away.
gonna like point to it.
Looking at it, does it look like anything?
It looks like, as Willowa draws your attention to it, it kind of just looks strange. Definitely not something that would normally be part of the landscape, but you guys can't discern a lot because it is still
Everyone halt.
the snow is disrupting your view a bit.
It seems as if we might be getting close to what we're looking for. I don't think anybody should, especially myself, make any hasty decisions. Shall we make a decision upon? I mean, you mentioned that we could send Tenaculum and make another one. Is it wise to send Tenaculum in first? Will you?
Sure. And I'm gonna take Tenaculum and inflate him. I'll pull him like, and I'm gonna send him to float forward to bump into the ice.
It takes him a little while, but he hits. And you guys just see the small blob, like kind of get obscured. But then when he gets closer, you can see him, and he just kind of bumps into it a few times. Boom.
All right. I think it's just a giant piece of ice sticking out of the ground.
Onwards.
All right. Should we investigate it?
Yes.
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
so.
I would
I
like
agree.
to.
Okay. So as you guys get closer, it slowly becomes more and more present, and it's bigger than you guys thought. It's at least 40 feet wide at the base that you guys are at, and you guys know that you're pretty high up still, and it goes up probably another 30 feet or so.
It's just ice.
And from what you can see, but as you get closer, you can see distinctly a shape within the ice as you walk closer and closer to it. And eventually, as you're closer, people who have lived in towns, which is the majority of you guys, would recognize it as some sort of steeple, frozen inside of this icy pillar.
I think the town is beneath us.
I think so too.
What?
Cool.
What?
Cool. Well, that's just bizarre.
That is odd.
How are we gonna get to it? Do we dig down?
I'm just kidding.
Can we see the coast anywhere?
From what you guys can tell from where you are right now, you can't see a coast yet. The
Have we
snow is too heavily falling. It's actually almost like a full blizzard now where you are.
Are we like in the epicenter of it? Like it's like originating from there?
You can't quite tell. You just know it's very, very heavy snow. And before, when you guys first entered, it was just like mild flurries. And then as you've been walking, it's been getting denser and denser. Now it's like a full-on winter storm, whipping your hair around if it's not tied down. Now your beard is just like flopping all over.
Like a commercial.
Yes, except not as nice because it's not a beach. It's like icy winter snow with like slush flying out of it.
I don't think we should dig down. We're not trying to get to the town.
No.
We're trying to get to the Isle Ivern.
Yes, we're not trying.
So we can continue, but we know we're going in the right direction now. Like,
I'd be careful. There's probably frozen villagers below us.
well,
What if-
I think it would be quite far below us, though, considering this is the top of a building that's
Okay.
sticking out. I don't think we'll be stepping on anyone all the way up here.
Should we just bypass it completely?
I guess we
Just walk
continue
through
on.
it.
Continue on.
So
See
as
if we can hit like a coast.
So as you continue, after not very long, this is only about 15 minutes, you notice the snow. Before it was pretty heavy and it was sticking fairly close to the ground, but now you can see that it's distinctly blowing up from the direction you guys are walking in now. It's not only falling from above and swirling around you, it's the snow on the ground is picking up and blowing off. And you notice a decline, sharper than the incline that you guys were walking before, in the direction you guys are walking. So the snow is blowing on the ground and a decline is starting to become obvious. You guys just continue?
Yeah.
So slowly as you guys keep going, you see more, maybe sometimes only small like chunks of ice around you. But as you guys keep walking, eventually, off in the distance, you can see a thin line of just solid ice laying on the ground. And eventually rising around you, giant chunks of ice. And very obviously, an assortment of different buildings frozen within them as you guys decline closer to the actual ground. Windows of small homes become present, and eventually, as soon as you see this large plain of ice in front of you, you can see doors. Yeah. So you can see the large pane is on the horizon. Probably, you would guess maybe another 15-minute walk ahead.
Okay.
But these buildings are, you can see you're on ground level now. But the snow is blowing from this sheet of ice in front of you.
Can we kind of like assume that this is maybe like a large body of water?
You could guess because you haven't seen any ice like this before, but you guys are still quite a distance away and you don't have a lot of detail because of the storm.
Right.
But you can guess it's something like that.
Nat, I'm very concerned that should we continue to use these shoes, do you feel like the durability is good?
Well, they haven't failed yet. I don't see why they would. I mean, they look pristine.
And by looking at them, are they pretty are they worn down from just us walking this far?
They look similar to what they did before.
Okay.
Maybe a few more rot holes have appeared.
Can I do an insight?
And it's yes, you can. You want to see if he's being sarcastic?
Yeah, 12.
12. From what you can tell, Knack, he doesn't. When he's not drunk, his tone
14,
tends to say kind of like here.
He says it's actually 14.
14? He seems like he's being genuine, but you don't know Knack the best, but you think he is, based on your like almost a bit over a week together.
Well,
As you go. Okay,
sorry.
There you go.
Guess we continue forward.
Across the lake?
Well, at least get to the edge of it and see if it's hard enough for us to walk on.
We can see anything across, yeah.
So as you guys walk, everyone roll a perception check.
Oh my god.
10.
7.
14.
16.
Ooh, first good roll. Perception?
22.
Calm down.
19.
Okay, so you said 16?
16.
So, and yours was 14? So, Knack, Willowa, and Pippin. It has been almost silent your whole journey for the past few days, except for the crunching of your feet in the snow and the howling of the wind in your ears. The three of you hear a tap, 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 tap from somewhere in the distance. Knack, you can pinpoint it specifically from somewhere on your right. Just a tapping, almost like a nail on crystal, or maybe ice on ice. I'm not sure.
I hear it too?
Get into formation. I move back away from the...
Should we all? Let's all go back to this point.
I got my sword.
And we'll
Form a circle.
And we'll put Worthington in the middle.
Okay, we form a circle with Worthington in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
We all
our
look
backs
around
are-
us.
our backs are turned.
Well, then there's like pokes his head out between like Lonan and Erie's legs.
And I'm gonna be like, what am I listening for?
So as you
Let's
guys,
try this.
as you stop walking, after you hear the shink of Gray's blades, everyone can hear the tinking. And Knack, I will get you to roll another perception check because you have an idea of where it's coming from.
That would be
Nice.
a 23.
23. Knack. This obscured. You guys have an ice block all around you as this frozen town is taking shape. You see a form tapping on the thick glass. Heavily obscured. You can't see what shape it's taking. But you see something tapping in the window of one of the frozen buildings.
Just inside the building.
Inside.
Creepy.
Oh, over there. Let's go take a look.
No.
It's about
be a
it's about
townsfolk
maybe like
trap.
40 to 60 feet to your right.
Could also be a frozen demon.
Quietly now.
We shouldn't go over there.
I'm sorry, but if somebody is trapped, I don't think we should leave them there.
I think that they're probably cursed.
It's quite possible.
They might not be though if they barricaded themselves inside their home.
How close are we to it?
40 to 60 feet.
We'll go.
are your estimate. It's hard to judge
Yeah.
distance because of everything.
The
but
rest
yeah.
of you stay back. Me and Nak are gonna go. We have our
Wait,
fire magic.
Sorry,
so
how far away is this?
It's like 50 feet,
And it's
so
underneath.
you can still see us.
It's inside a house.
Should we attach, just in case anything happened? Well, I guess it's so the ice is under the tapping that we're hearing is the ice underneath us. That's the tapping, correct?
No.
Okay.
It's a
It's-
window
no, no, no.
inside
It's,
a
a
house.
it's in a building.
Okay.
The ice that you guys, the plan of ice that you guys are imagining might be water.
Yeah.
Is like 20 minutes away. This
Oh,
is
okay.
like
In the
a
town.
cup. This is like 10-second walk, maybe even
Yeah.
maybe.
It's like
less.
really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll walk.
Be careful.
So as you
I'm
guys
gonna
approach,
like pull out
shield.
my my quarterstaff.
Can I try to do my channel divinity? And then I'm gonna try to see if I can detect for
that's not your channel of divinity, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have a different channel of divinity. You have two, right?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
okay,
have
yeah.
the one for my oath or my thingy. And
So
then
you're
I'm
not
just
using
gonna-
the demon one.
No, I'm just gonna be checking and taking a look for let's do undead.
Undead. So, Gray, your senses broaden, and a tingle happens in your senses. Something that you're not really familiar with. You're looking for the presence of undead, which is something you haven't encountered before. And something, it almost like pings around you, but it's not the same. It's a weird sensation, almost like it's dulled. But almost like the buildings around you almost
I like
lighten up with these faint beacons.
Guys,
What?
maybe not go over there.
What
I
is
have
it? What are
a strong inclination that there possibly could be some undead around in every single building here present.
Oh, they're full of ice monsters. I told you.
Well, maybe we should just start running for the.
Let's go. Let's go.
The
Let's go.
ice.
Yes, let's get
Yeah.
down. Yes,
Let's
that's
leave
So
them
as you
frozen.
start moving, that tinking, as you run by the building, just gets louder, and it has a bash.
Oh no.
But as you run, silence.
Is it still blizzarding?
It's still blizzarding. It's the sound becomes just the howling of the wind once more,
It's
and the
divine.
crunching of the snow under your feet. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're running towards the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys just run. So after 20, it's only probably like 15 minutes because you're sprinting, basically, probably the whole time. You guys are exhausted. You guys are quite not exhausted. You guys are tired from this burst of energy you guys got as you run, and you hit this weird frozen docks. Crystalline shards come up out of the water, where you can tell waves froze in their wake as the water had surged and just kind of froze them, like flash froze them where they were.
Oh, cool.
You can see maybe about an inch or two, maybe even sometimes it's closer to a foot beneath your feet. You can see the patterns of docks lining the ground. And across this little bay area, you can see just a dense cloud surrounding something. You can't see it with it, you can't penetrate it. You see a dense cloud of white and flurries of snow, dense off in the distance across this water.
That's gotta be where the island
That's
is.
got to be where it's coming from.
Yes.
Do
Shall
we-
we continue?
Can I look behind us? Is anything following us?
Roll a perception check.
Oh.
Okay, because you are in the back.
20.
20.
20.
Not 20, but 20.
But 20. So behind you, you can see. It's almost clearer behind you because the snow has been blowing in your face from the ground and like this sheer ice. But as you turn, it's a bit clearer and you can see a bit farther than you normally would be able to. But you don't see anything.
Okay.
And again, all that is in your ears. As it's dimmed because it's coming from behind, is still that wind and the sound of your own breathing within
Okay.
your ears and the pumping of the blood
Okay.
from your heart.
From the tapping, can I hear anything behind us at all? Like, or,
You can also roll perception.
it is 15.
15. You don't hear anything except for the howling of the wind.
Okay.
Alright, let's continue. I don't want to be
Do
near
we
this
have
town.
everything we need before we go? Because I can't imagine there's anything good in there.
Yeah, let's get into our planned battle formation. So it'll be me, Lonan, and Willow in the back, and you three in the front.
Yeah.
Like,
Does
what
everyone
kind of-
have their oil flasks?
Are we going to be okay walking on this water? What if we fall in or
It
something?
looks pretty thick.
Yeah, it looks
Uh,
pretty darn. The docks are frozen below us.
Can I go up and like test it with my foot?
Yes, you can. So
Do you want me to roll?
No,
or-
you don't have to roll. You can delicately put your foot down on the ice, and you don't hear any cracking. You don't hear any moving. You just kind of feel sturdy when you put one foot down. Did you want to try to put both?
Mhm.
So you step on the ice and just make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
12. So as you step down, you kind of misjudge. You put your weight down and you forget that it's ice. And the ice is as slippery as it is. Because you've been stuck in the snow and it's been kind of padding. You haven't had to worry about how delicate you're stepping. So you put down and the snowshoes make you clumsy and you slip and fall. But the ice doesn't crack. And it holds your weight.
Okay.
I take off my
And you
snowshoes.
just see Willow kind of like tumble and like fall on her butt.
I'm gonna take my snowshoes
Me
off
too.
Yeah.
and put them
In our bags.
in my bag.
No, you can just put it on your back.
On
Like
my
you can
back.
tie it like on your
Tie
like
it with a
around.
string.
Would I know like at this time of year, is it normal for this weather to be this? Like, is it normally like
This
It's
weather
summer.
is.
We already
this-
know this.
No,
No,
but
I
you
know.
know that this
forgot.
weather is abnormal. Just this
Okay.
degree of snow.
my
You've never heard of it. And you're from northern
yeah?
Kadareth.
No, I knew this. I know the snow was like abnormal, but I'm just saying like I forgot if it was supposed to be like this.
No, it's like 3 weeks,
What?
almost
What?
4 weeks into.
No, I knew that it was just, like bad snow. I didn't know if it was supposed to be. If it was
It's
snow
the beginning of the 4th week of
Spring.
the Lurbenin, so it's 4 weeks into spring. It's like over 3 weeks into spring,
Okay.
and the snow should not be here anymore.
My question is, if we go in there and we are able to tackle whatever might be causing this, ice and snow and everything, getting off that island, are we going to worry about that after? What if there's something, for example, we kill this thing or cure this thing, and then we have an island, are we just going to build ourselves a boat to return?
We'll have to find out once
There
we
are
get
people
there.
who lived on the island. I'm sure there's a boat there.
But we can't really plan for that now.
Yeah,
I'm
we have
not
no
going
idea
back
what we're
through
even
that
going
town.
into.
And the boats look like they're frozen down there
Not
with the
beneath
docks.
us.
And I'm not going back through that town to go build a boat because that seems dangerous.
Just planning ahead.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get into our formation. I'll kind of fan out with the 3 ranged and the 3 melee.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take out and palm one of my oil flasks and just have it in my hand.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then
I'm gonna have my bow staff and also one of the oil flasks in my hand.
And you guys can tell that this cloud of like condensed storm is a while out of the bay still.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know. As you guys
We are
all,
very unprotected out on the ice,
Yes.
though.
as you guys step onto the ice though,
Sorry.
you feel just a whining. And you see Worthington is sitting by the shore, hesitantly
He's not
putting
going.
his foot on the ice and keying back and just looking at you guys with big wide eyes.
Come on, Worthington.
come on.
Come on, boy.
Come on.
So I will have, because Eerie said it, you can roll an animal handling check.
Don't fail me.
Ooh.
8.
8. So Worthington, he tries. He puts both feet on the ice and they kind of spread out. Scurries back.
Oh, poor
So
baby.
lying on the shoulder, curls up in a ball.
I'll walk over, and I'll put my shield down on the ice,
Okay.
and I'll see if I can get her to go on the shield.
Okay, you can roll animal handling as well then.
17 plus 4, so
Okay,
21.
21. So, with a lot of hesitation, this probably takes like 10 minutes to get him onto the
Yeah.
shield. Even with that roll, he's very hesitant. Eventually, you almost have to like lift him in this ball and put him onto the shield. But he doesn't struggle
Yeah.
when you're doing it. So
And
he's
then, yes, he's on there. So I'll just take out my rope and I'll tie it through one of the handholds,
it's like
and
a
then like
sled.
around like my waist, and then I'll just.
So he sits up, and you can just pull him down. And he doesn't try to leave, but he's just sitting on the shield. Okay. So you guys are in your formation and walking on the ice.
You're dragging Worthington in the sled.
You guys have to watch your steps. The ice is, as much as it's rough with snow and kind of like waves, just the amount of like roughness and the choppiness that these waves throws in, it takes you a little while to actually get around it. So it probably takes you another 2 hours or so to make it there.
We need like cleats.
But at this time, you guys have been traveling for quite a while now without a full rest. So I want to make everybody do a Constitution save. at the very end when you're close to this.
Why do we
area.
always have to go into like a battle situation exhausted?
You guys like to travel a ton and get right there.
24.
Okay. I think-
17.
I don't know what that's. Is that cocked
19.
or is that
Okay.
flat? Do you think?
looks cocked.
It looks cocked to me from my angle. What did you roll? Ronan?
21.
Okay. Pippin?
9.
Pivot!
Turn into ice, baby.
What about you?
18.
18. Everybody's fine, but Pippin, that last stretch, it gets to you. You just failed, so you get one level of exhaustion. But everybody else is fine. You guys are like moments away. You can feel the wind, almost like it's unnaturally strong at this point. It's almost like forcing you back. And Pippin slips and falls to his knees.
Oh, it's really sharp ice.
You don't hurt yourself, you're fine.
Ah.
I have them up.
I'm no-
Because I'm literally standing next to you, right? So.
Yeah.
Pippin, it's okay.
Uh,
Hold on to me if you need
can
to.
you piggyback me?
Well, I wanted to save my strength just in case anything happens.
Oh, nah.
Can you pick up me?
Are you tired there?
Hard pass.
Let's continue on.
So, you guys just push through?
Yeah.
Okay? So you guys are at this almost wall of solid cloud and snow whipping around at high speeds. And you guys just want to enter directly in?
Well,
I'm gonna go
Wait a minute.
into the wind. Stay together.
Pippin, can you
should
send Tanakim in before we do anything?
Yeah.
And that before you do, I'm gonna pet Tanakim one last time.
One last time.
It's like he's gonna
And he's
die.
gonna inflate and start floating like. Ooh, ooh.
So Tanakion, as he gets closer, you see him struggling to maintain his position. He's getting whipped and thrown around. And just as he's about to enter the storm, he goes through the cloud and gone.
Trev. Loading.
I'm sorry. I was.
You see him get flung to the right and just disappear into the clouds. And he's just gone right now.
Can I
Worth it?
take out
Question
some
mark?
rope?
Worth the question mark.
Should we tie ourselves together?
Well, I don't know if we should necessarily tie ourselves, because if we do enter into like a battle situation when we get past this, if we get past it, that might not be good. But if we can all hold on to the rope so that we all know we're staying together, I think that might be smart.
Okay.
We do this all the time, and when we're in bad storms on sea.
Good.
I'm going to reach into my bag.
So I have my rope to hang on to everyone. Sorry.
Alright, and I'm gonna tie it around me.
Don't tie your body.
Oh,
He already did. Pippin's very
We already
tired.
did it.
Pippin's tired.
I'm gonna put it
It's
around my.
done.
I'm gonna put it in my armpit and hold it, and then I'm gonna grab out one of my stamina potions and uncork it with my teeth and drink it.
And you have one left?
I have 2, yeah. So I used one. Of them.
Okay, yep. So your exhaustion, you can give me that back. You are not exhausted anymore.
Good boy.
So
Let's do
everybody
this.
has a hand on the rope. Does anyone want to say anything before you guys walk into the storm?
If we make it alive, remember once we're in there, we must stay together and think together as well too.
Can I just do one more thing?
What?
Can I
How do we
cast
together?
light on the rope
Talk
so that we can see it?
Wait.
So after Willow hands everybody the rope, a faint light snakes down the ends and bursts into the light you guys are familiar with from Tanakion to give you guys a little brightness.
What about Worthington?
Oh, cool.
Worthington's still on the shield.
Yeah, he's on the shield.
He just
Nobody's
flies
gonna
away.
tie him together or something?
Hang on, Worthington.
He's gonna be flung into like.
He's
you know-
like-
Tie him
he's-
to the shield, maybe.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, do you need the shield during a fight?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. He'll hang on. Let's go.
Okay.
Right.
Alright.
You guys walk
onward.
forward.
I before you do that, I'll ask him to bite the rope that I have tied around my waist in the shield. Is
Roll
it
an animal handling
like an
check.
anchor point.
With
This-
charisma,
with charisma.
because you're asking him to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
He's
not
like a
commanding
trained-
him.
He's
Yeah.
not a trained animal. either.
17.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, he looks confused for a second and then like slowly goes
It's like a head.
and like delicate. You know how like dogs delicately hold
Yeah.
like stuffed animals? He's doing that to the rope.
I'll give him a scratch.
So-
Good boy.
And so as you walk in, I'm gonna have everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm glad I drank that potion.
I know.
Okay, we'll start with Lonan here, and we'll go down, and then start with Nak and go down.
11.
23.
10.
9.
Oh!
16.
4.
Oh my god!
So, Nak and Pippin, you guys, as you're walking in, the storm and the wind is too rough for you guys. And you guys are all holding on, but you guys, the two of you trip and pull everybody kind of off course and causes the group to, you guys don't all fall, you guys don't all collapse from it, but you guys are distinctly slowed, stuck in this in-between, so close to the storm and blizzard that it's burning your faces. You almost feel it directly.
Bloody storm.
You guys are going to be taking 2 cold damage each from your fall, hitting the ice, these scratches. But you guys get back up. Persistent. Dedicated to this. And with struggle and with a lot of determination, you guys push through. And you spend probably like 5 minutes within this cloud. Lost, disoriented. The wind, the snow just whipping around your ears. You can't hear anything other than the screech of it. You can't see beyond your own fingertips. The only thing keeping you together is the light of the rope, guiding you as, we'll say Eerie because you rolled highest. Eerie takes the lead, pushing through the storm. And after a few minutes, it stops. Eerie, you're the first one out. And the snow disappears and the wind stops howling.
Can we see Tenacula at all?
Eerie's the first one out, so only Eerie can see this. Eerie, you open your eyes to see calm, not a storm at all. You look up and you can see a clear blue sky above you, the sun shining right above. And in front of you, you can see a giant, jagged castle of ice in the center of this island, glittering in the noonday sun. As the rest of you guys exit the storm shortly after.
Is it like there's spinning clouds behind us?
Yep, and
Whoa.
as you exit in this huge circle, you can see it beyond as well, and to your sides. You're in the eye of the storm now.
Okay.
Yo, that's a big castle.
How far away?
Goodness.
The castle, it looks like it's on, you can see it in the distance, it's quite far, because there is a full island around you. But this island is different than the rest of the forest you guys have seen. It's almost like delicately powdered with snow, like the perfect like Christmas morning.
Mm-hmm.
So you would imagine it's hard to guess because you guys have to climb a little bit to get up there, but you can see the docks and you can see some frozen boats, still encased in ice, but still frozen in the docks.
Is Elsa in there?
Tenacula!
It's less beautiful and more terrifying. Here, I can show. I have a picture of it.
Okay.
I'll have Worthington get off my shield at this point so that I can
Did you
pick it
make it
back up.
So it's more like a terrifying grace of crystals.
Yeah. Got it.
Across here. That's my drawing. You can't see it very well.
So, I shout, Tenacula!
Keep it down.
Oh, sorry.
Pippin, we don't know what's out there.
You hear a as off to your right, out of the storm, Tenacula floats over.
I give him a big hug.
Yeah. He just got whipped around and he's a bit farther than you were expecting, but he makes it out.
You're so cool.
Okay. So what do you guys
Okay.
want to do?
Well,
Should
we have
Go
one
to the
choice,
castle?
and that's to head towards the castle. We don't see, looking around, we don't see anything else.
So I have a question for you, DM.
Quickly, first you can roll perception, and you have a question, and then.
So is
resolve this.
it a castle that's encrusted in ice like the town, or is it made?
You're
out
very
of ice?
far. You can't see, but it looks like just the way it's glittering. You can maybe guess it's made completely of ice, and it's very large compared to anything you've seen.
Like this might not be natural to this island.
Yeah, there might not be a castle here.
18.
18. Other than the just the snow-covered trees and the frozen boats, you don't see anything. You don't hear anything. It's again that weird silence. And this time it's not even accompanied by the wind. It's just the sound of your own breathing as you guys are standing here.
Do I see like a gate or anything?
You guys are too far to make
Oh,
anything
okay.
distinct about the castle. You just see these terrifying, almost like magnificent, overwhelming, like fill you with awe, shards of ice gleaming into these these pillars, like a small tower in the center.
Well, I think it's fair to say that whatever's causing this is in there.
Should we just march right up or try to stealth or?
Do we need to take? How long have we been traveling for at this point?
You guys have been traveling for a very long time, probably around 9 hours. You guys are tired, but you're not exhausted. You would guess maybe now that you have take a second, you can guess maybe it'll take you another half hour. So you guys would be pushing it if you go right now.
What time is it?
It is middle of the day because you guys travel through the night mostly, right? So it's about around noon. The sun, you can see the sky above you for the first time in almost 2 days.
Are there trees around us, or is it just open?
You guys are on the water still. You guys haven't made it to the island yet. But there are trees on the island.
Okay.
How
So are we swimming?
Yeah, I was just.
No,
it's frozen.
it's still frozen. You guys are standing on the
It's still
frozen
ice.
ice still.
It's just not storming.
Yeah, it's just not like a blizzard.
How long until we reach the island? Like I would
Like a
say
half
half
an
an
hour.
hour.
Like 15 minutes to get to the island, 15 minutes to traverse the island is your guys' guess.
So I get to the shore
Let's
and camp.
continue.
I say let's. If we're going to be resting, we should definitely do it on the island.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we should be.
The thing is that once we get to the island, what if there's a presence
might-
there that
yeah,
knows
we
where
might
we're
not
at?
be
I
able
think
to-
that we don't have time. I think we lost our opportunity to rest when we entered the town.
Looking at Pippin, is he? Because he's exhausted, right? Is he?
No,
anymore.
He looks fine now. You
Is it
notice
stamina?
you didn't see him drink the potion necessarily,
That's what I was
but
saying, like,
he
looking at-
doesn't look exhausted
Okay.
anymore.
Well, if you guys are okay with continuing on, I'm alright as well too.
Well, let's walk on in our formation.
Okay.
So you guys continue. After 15 minutes, you make it to the island. Worthington jumps off the shield and just looks so relieved to be on land instead of on this weird, like thick ice. You guys are getting tired, but you know that knowing your abilities, you think you guys can push on for a little bit longer still without risking anything. So you guys take your last final steps, and as you guys hit the island, you go through a small, almost like very cared for forest around before coming up to the giant wall of ice in front of you. That is the shards and almost like outer portion of this giant ice castle.
Is there a door?
Roll perception check.
Is there windows?
Investigation?
No windows. Are you going up to it investigating, or are you standing back and looking?
I'm looking.
Okay, it's a perception.
8.
8. You can't. It looks just like pure ice. Just looking at it from where you are. You guys are probably still a few hundred feet away from it. I'm imagining you guys aren't walking directly up to it yet. You kind of just struck by the giant, the magnitude of it.
I would like to stealth.
Okay, you can roll a stealth. You guys are still in the forest. You guys haven't exited. Like you guys are on the outskirts of it.
Just a 4.
22.
Yeah, I told you you walked through a small forest, like a manicured forest.
22.
22. Yep. You have an easy time blending in around the trees and.
And I'm
these
going
big
to
thin
creep
shadows.
up closer to and try to see if there's some sort of obvious
Right.
entrance.
So you can roll perception as well.
17.
17. You see some. You're not sure from this distance, but you see some areas where it looks like there's some cracks along the bottom.
Large cracks? Or are we talking
More like a straight cut almost.
Okay.
And you see the light's hard because the light is like kind of refracting through the hole of the crystal, shining a lot of light, kind of making it hard to look at just because of the brightness of the sun. But you see at least one distinct spot where you think maybe there's a cut in the ice, and then maybe it's a door, but you have a hard time from this distance still.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the group and say, I think I may see a way in. It's hard to tell without getting up too close, and I don't know if there's anything watching us.
I mean, I don't think we have a choice but to go up to it.
Mhm.
I think so.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
In formation?
Do we have a plan if anything
Do we just
happens?
knock on the door, or?
I would say
Probably
don't make
not,
any
no.
rash decisions unless it is one of
Please
those ice
don't do
monsters
anything
we've seen.
sudden.
Should we have one of us?
I
Go
don't
ahead.
think we should split up.
No, I think we should all go together.
I was thinking more tonight.
Dracula.
Again?
We just want to use
The beauty about Zaculum, which Pippin previously mentioned, is that he can always make another, right?
Yeah, I can always make another.
But it's still
What's the
living
benefit of having Tenaculum go in before us?
They
Nothing.
can't speak
He
to
can't
us.
Yeah,
speak
like
to
there's
us.
like if we send him in and then he just floats back. Okay, so he made it back, but like maybe he's now
First.
Alerted them or something?
alerted them
Yeah.
because he doesn't have a way of like
Communicating.
stealthing or being like, ooh, I probably shouldn't walk in front of this unknown
Yeah,
person.
he's not that intelligent.
So it might not be
Yeah,
bad.
it's like goo.
Yeah, I think we just go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Should we try to, looking at Eerie, should we try to stealth along the side?
Well, if Eerie wants to
Does
stealth,
everyone have the ability to
Well,
stealth?
we can all
We're
try
not all
to
as
stealth.
good
can
as
try.
If Eerie wants, she
I'm
can
proficient
go
in it,
in
too.
by herself and just peek in stealth.
If you want me to try, I don't know if we should split up, but if you feel that that's beneficial to
I
us,
can
I
go
can
with you, Avery.
try it.
I feel like me and
I'm
Ash-
actually proficient in stealth anyway.
Yeah.
So
You guys would know that because you're at the edge of the forest and there's a few hundred feet to the castle, there isn't really anywhere for you guys to hide,
stealth. Okay.
to stealth behind. So you're able to stealth where you are because there's a lot of tree cover. You're able to be confidently like hidden from people, but in that open, you know that stealth is really only like how heavy your foot falls.
I'm gonna look down at myself and I'm gonna be like, I wish I wasn't wearing so much black and all this white.
Well,
I think we just go
Yeah.
together.
everyone
Okay.
be careful. And just continue on.
Information.
I'll
Okay.
have my shield, like, not
What
all
is
my shield, but all
formation
my
now?
arm.
Well, we've already said
Me
that.
and Ash-
So did you want to be? Did
I'm
you want
at
to be?
front.
Okay, so I shall travel behind Eerie.
Yeah, our formation is the 3 melee in front and the 3 ranged in
Okay,
back.
I'm just confirming in the Worthington in the middle.
And
Kind of just.
Yeah.
Worthington in the middle.
He's like dashing around. He's a wolf. He doesn't. He
Yeah,
has no
he
idea.
doesn't understand
He's like,
formation.
I don't like that castle, but I'm gonna be fun and playful anyways.
Yeah.
I'd probably say 10 feet in between enemies.
I
So-
still have my bow staff and I have my
Well, plus.
oil flask.
So Eerie can direct you guys towards the crack she saw in the wall, and after just a few moments of walking slowly towards it, you see a more door shape and like ornate carving of a door almost inside. It doesn't look like a crack anymore, but it looks like
Okay.
an ornate carving of like a grand door,
Okay,
double the tallest of your height.
let's walk up to it.
Is there any
Sure,
tracks on the
handle?
ground?
Shall we not?
Roll survival.
We're just going to go walk in. Yeah. Seems rather odd.
Would you roll?
9.
Nope, you don't see any tracks around you.
Can I look for a doorbell?
Don't.
Don't do anything.
So are you gonna reach out and look? or
No,
you
I'm just like looking.
roll an investigation.
Reach out and look.
No, that's counts.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
8.
Adorable.
That's a way better roll the first
That
time.
was like a 17.
Yeah.
What's a doorbell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A security
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
Like a
So
switch
you don't
or
see
like a
anything. It
rope?
just looks like a carving of a door.
Mm.
The closer that. The
It
closer
doesn't
you
look
are.
like a door. Like it doesn't look. Like
Well, it looks like a door, but it doesn't look like it's like.
A real.
It doesn't look like there's no
There's no
hinges.
seams.
There's no seams. It just looks like a carving of one.
Where was the crack she seen?
She thought she saw a crack. It ended up being the center carving. It's like deep, but it's not like a full crack.
Everyone must be very careful. Gary, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll go.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Gary, are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm already walking.
Okay. So
I'm not gonna use my hands. I'm gonna use the tip of my bow staff to push on the door.
So as you reach your bow staff out and touch the door, a light almost seems to carve around
Okay.
the outside of the engravings, and the door slowly swings with a grinding of ice against the ground
Okay.
and opens
Okay.
into a room.
Ominous.
Can we
I
see
know.
right away into the room? Is
Into
it
the
lit up?
room, all you can see from where you're standing is a large, jagged throne of ice
That's my.
right across at the ice side.
Oh my god.
It's a large throne.
Is there a person there?
You only see the throne.
Only the throne.
Continue.
I
Careful.
walk in.
Careful not. Looking around on the ground in front of us, there's no like. I mean, I don't know. I
You
don't
can
know
roll
if-
survival if you want to check for something on
I
the
was
ground.
gonna look for traps or something like that, but I don't even think that they would be. But
If you want to look for traps, you can roll an investigation.
I'll do that. Yeah. Nope.
What'd you roll?
3.
No.
You were confident there's nothing on the ground around you.
Okay.
Confident. You're like, there's no traps.
Yeah.
No way there's a trap.
So I'm just stepping with my big feet then.
So the front three walking.
So you guys front three walk in,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other, then
Yeah.
Worthington at some point.
Yeah.
And as you guys are past the doorway, you can see this large room with 2 hallways on either side that you can't really see into right yet from your thing. Jagged sculptures of ice that don't really have a distinction, more abstract, of just jagged, almost like crystalline ice in the corners with large ledges around the sides up top. And then just like a sheer, beautiful ground. It's almost like delicate snowflake patterns within it, but they're huge. So it's hard to like fully grasp.
And does it look solid? Like the whole structure is ice, or does it look like it's ice on top of a
It
previously
looks like
existing?
solid. It looks like solid ice because the room is almost glowing with the sunlight that's penetrating.
Okay.
And as you guys clear the door,
Oh, I was gonna try to see if I could put my dagger in the way because I'm in the back.
You can roll a dexterity saving throw because it's going quick.
Oh no, I rolled a 4.
No, so Pippin goes to reach his dagger, but by the time his reflexes kick in, the door is already slamming with a booming crash behind you.
Well,
And all you
I had a
hear
feeling that would happen.
There it is.
is a laugh.
A laugh.
I'm gonna get a high, feminine voice. Ha 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 ha. Well. Some more people to play with. Oh my! And a storm of flurries condenses around the room, and it fills the room with snow for a moment before receding. And on the throne that was empty a moment before is a tall, elegant woman with, instead of hair, a snowflake appearing from the top of her head in crystalline ice, tall and thin, proportions almost inhuman, with a definite humanoid face, the long, sharp features. Her skin is a pale white, with her eyes are obscured with a veil. But distinctly it's her laughing as she's sitting on the throne. My, more friends, is it?
Is this from you?
And who are you?
You don't know. I'm the one who made this beautiful playground. You guys didn't come to visit.
Well, in a sense.
Well, I don't let anyone be my friend. I'm gonna have to give you guys a little test first. Are you guys willing to play?
We don't want to play. any
Stop
games.
this winter.
Stop. Winter? Why would I want to stop? It's so magnificent.
You're killing people.
No one's dead. Deny. Dear, why would I want to kill my friends? Here, let me invite some more in here and you guys can have a little play date. How about that? She'll poof into snow. You guys start hearing a crack of ice as 3 forms appear out of the ground in front of you in different spots.
Oh my god.
So
And for those who would be happening to look up, 4 shapes on all the balconies appear.
Oh my god.
Good.
And all of you can roll initiative.
And put the board on, I'm assuming?
Yep, 1 second, I have to get
Yeah,
this
we
flipped.
should
Oh man, my
Okay.
initiative rolls are always
Okay, yeah, turn it on.
I actually got a good one.
I moved this around, so I have to figure out where everything goes again.
Good thing my sword's already.
Pretty good.
Okay,
Pretty good that.
not
Nope.
bad where we are right now. Okay, so we had 4 shapes appeared on the balconies. Bam, 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 bam. We had 3 shapes appear out of the ground. The Ice Queen has disappeared off of the throne.
Jeez.
We're dead.
So I have.
This is nuts. I don't even remember if I had that potion.
So, tell me if you guys are happy with where you all placed.
Should have totally saved that potion again.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Okay.
Worthington's just in the middle. Where's Snackhill?
I'd put him with me.
Oh,
Like put him beside me.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Alright.
Jeez. Did you roll your thing?
So 1 second, I'm gonna get. I just have to get my paper ready.
Oh my goodness.
This is fine.
This is fun.
This is
It's
fine.
fun.
It's fine.
Okay,
What's the worst I could have?
everybody. Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to get it straight. Everyone, initiative 25 to 20. Good start. 19 to 15.
19.
17.
16.
Okay, so.
Ooh, look at you.
Better than the 1 or 2.
Oh wait,
I
did
got
you
last
roll
time.
for Worthington?
Yeah, we're all Worthington as well.
What about Tenacula?
Oh.
Tenacula acts after
Yeah, acts after
his
me.
initiative.
That's a good boy.
Hang
So,
on, Worthington's up there.
okay, let me know what is this?
What's his dex? He's 20.
20? Oh wow, Worthington acts
Yeah.
first.
What the?
Well, okay, and then that, and then. So I had Willow at 19.
Yep.
Who's next?
17.
17.
And then Gray's 16.
Okay, and then. Okay, so 14 to 10.
14. What'd you roll?
You'll find out.
Okay, and then 9 to 5.
9.
Oh
I rolled an 8.
Ugh.
100.
Okay. So right at the top of the round, Worthington gets to go first. So you see the forms on top of the balconies. Everyone appears to be disarmed at the moment, except for the center form right here has this large axe with, it looks like it's a normal axe, but it has a coating of thick frost on its blade.
Are they humanoid? What are they?
They're humanoid. This same crystalline ice is coating their bodies as the wolves and the bears before. As they appear, they almost look like they rose out of the ground.
Creepy. Alright.
Worthington will come up just behind me and kind of shelter behind me,
Okay.
but like look forward and growl and snarl and bare his teeth.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I'm gonna have quickly the three in front roll a perception check before we actually do combat.
19.
17.
Perception 17.
Okay, so you'll notice that beneath the icy coats, you can see forms
Okay.
underneath them.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll have hold of action too, so that if anything comes, he'll try to get like a bite attack,
So what comes where?
like to within like range of me, I guess.
Okay,
because he's,
so
like,
I'll have
in
it. Okay.
Yeah, like
So if anyone comes in his range, he will do a bite attack.
yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Willowa, you're up.
Alrighty. Well, I am scared. First of all, I'm gonna try a chromatic orb.
Okay.
At the one that's kind of,
Yeah, so this one
yeah,
over
is
here?
that's not Eerie, that's Gray.
That's
Yep, on
yeah,
Gray's,
so kind of
yeah,
on Gray's
Gray's
side
left.
there. I have to roll to attack. Not the greatest. That's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
A 10 misses.
Oh.
So the fire bursts and hits the ground behind him, releasing steam into the air as a small crater
Can
forms.
I use one of my meta magic abilities to twin my spell so that I can try and target a different person instead?
Yes. Before that, we'll do it this time to just announce that before.
Oh, okay,
From
sorry.
now on. No, it's okay. We'll do it this time. We haven't done it. We haven't actually done any meta
I've
magic
never
yet. This is
yet
our first
used
meta
it.
magic.
So I'm going to.
So what does it do exactly to spell?
So it basically just I can
Target
do the
two?
I can target the same spell to a different person.
What's the range that you could target with it?
Within range.
It's
it
just
says.
within range.
Okay, so you'll have to move just because this guy is like I have his partial cover.
Okay.
So we can say that you move maybe you're over here to
Sure.
see both. Just otherwise you might hit Gray.
Okay.
But we'll say you did that before.
And then I'll just I'll roll. That one will hit. That is 23.
23 hits.
And then
So as these
So-
balls of fire appear within your hand.
yes.
And the one shoots and misses. They twin in your hands as they spiral. One shoots and misses and causes the steaming craters behind the one on your right. And the one in the center with the battle axe.
Are you paying attention? So you can add
Sorry, 5 plus 8.
and then plus 3.
So 16.
So 16 is what the. So I'll only go to the second one that I
Yeah.
targeted.
Nice.
The
Okay.
first one, everything kind of.
So the
misses.
fireballs hit and they steam and it staggers back as these forms. And you can see underneath of the ice, you can see bits of clothing. And on the arm, you can see flesh underneath this body. But it's still standing.
Mhm.
Okay.
That'll be my
Wait, no,
turn.
I did that wrong. Okay. Yeah, the form is still standing. And with that, this one creature will take a step forward onto the edge of its pedestal and raise its hand, and a crystalline bow of ice will form out of its fist.
Good.
And it'll take aim at Eerie, who is
Great.
the closest to it, sorry. They'll take aim and let fire. The first one will be a 13 to hit, which misses. And the second one is a 15 to hit, which misses. So 2 bursts of ice. Ting, ting, and they just kind of shatter on the ground with puffs of snow as they disintegrate. Next up is actually Eerie.
How dare you try to attack me? I am going to, I'm going to rush at it with my bow staff. And
So this
try-
one is up. in
Oh,
the
I'm
air.
sorry. I thought it was
These
the
pedestals,
one in front of me.
No, this one didn't attack. It's this one up here.
Mm-hmm.
And these are about 30 feet up. My apologies. All of these pedestals.
I was mistaken. Okay, I do...
No problem. I understand. I
Okay, they
forgot
do
to
not
mention.
take piercing damage, so there's no point in me trying to hit it with darts. I'm going to still rush forward and try and attack that one that's in
5,
front
10.
of me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just going to try and like bludgeon it as hard as I can with my bow staff.
Okay, sounds good. Remember to add, I'm not sure if you changed it on your form, you have that +1 bow staff now.
So
I
add
did
1
not.
to everything.
Add 1 to everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So plus 7.
plus 7.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So, 18.
18 hits.
Great.
And then your damage is going to go from +4 to +5 too.
Yeah.
Wow, this pen is really good. Alright.
And did you, this is a 2-hand swing, I'm assuming?
No, because my other hand has the flask.
Oh, yeah, so 1-hand swing.
So
Okay.
it's a one-handed
Okay.
bash towards the head. Where's my so 8.
8 damage? Okay. As you swing and it hits, and a crunch of ice as there's like a spiderweb fracture appears as it hits its shoulder and spreads across its arm.
Okay.
So because you have an oil flask in the other hand, you don't have a free hand to do any blows.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Yeah.
can't.
But you do have, if you want to do another thing, you can with your bonus action. You have like you're stuck in the wind.
I'm just gonna smash my oil flask on it.
I don't think you can do that as
Yeah,
a
that's
bonus
an
You
action.
can't?
that's an action.
So what would my bonus action options be here? Move away.
Yeah, you can step away. You have movement, but you can use a key point to disengage with as for a bonus action, so you don't get an opportunity attack by it.
I might need my key points for later. I'm just gonna step away. I'm not
Okay.
gonna.
So we'll move the 1 for now, and it's going to take an attack of opportunity against you,
Yeah.
and that
You could have disengaged, yeah.
is
Either
going to
Then I
hit.
spend a key point, and I'm probably gonna need those to attack.
So as you walk away, you're gonna take 7 bludgeoning damage. No, not slashing damage, sorry, as its ice saber appears in its hand and swipes at you.
Oh,
Yikes.
creepy
Okay.
Iceman.
This is the only one who had something in its hand before. Okay, next up is... Oh, did you want to move any more than the 5 feet? Where did you want to move to? So you moved 5, 10, 15 so far.
I'm gonna move back in line with everyone else.
20.
Yeah.
So just right there? Okay, perfect. Okay, so next up is Gray.
I'm gonna move towards that one to the left.
Okay, so there's the smoking craters around this one from Will-O-Wisp balls of fire.
Scary. I am going
Scary.
to. I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark,
Ooh, okay.
and I'm going to start with a attack on Scary Boy there,
It's gonna be Hunter's Mark. This little tiny
Yes.
silver. Okay.
and then I'm going to do one attack.
Dang, dang.
So Hunter's Mark, what does it specifically do? I cannot remember.
He does extra damage if he hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
Creature
extra
can't-
damage, 1d6, right?
And the
It's-
creature can't hide from him.
Right, and it is a concentration though. It's a
Okay.
bonus action.
Yep.
So that is a 2, and I'm just going to stand there after that.
Okay, so yeah,
And
that
that'll
misses.
Yep.
Okay, so next up is this one will take a step forward from the back of its pedestal, and it's going to take 1 aim at Gray and 1 at Knack here. So for Gray, it's going to be a 20 to hit. So that hits?
Yep.
Okay. So Gray, that is going to be 6 piercing damage, and you're going to make a Constitution saving throw. As the arrow hits you, you can feel it sink into your body before it bursts into that flurry of ice in an area, and it fills that area for a moment.
5.
5? Okay, so you're going to take an additional 2 cold damage.
Okay.
Okay, and then the second arrow is going to fly towards Knack. And Knack, your armor is 16 currently.
18. I got my shield.
Your shield had. Did you pick up your shield?
Yeah,
after
when we got
okay,
to
yeah.
the island.
So 18. Yep, so it misses. Okay,
Clunk.
so next up is Pippin.
Oh boy. Okay, I am going to step beside Worthington,
That's a roll for Hunter's Neck.
and
Oh, yes,
I'm
you are
going
rolling
to
Constitution saving throw.
take my oil flask,
11.
That passes.
and I'm going to throw it at the guy with the axe.
So
How far is he?
30 feet. So you
Oh,
can.
he's too far.
How,
I can only hurl it up to 20 feet.
so you can take another 2 steps.
Yeah, I will do that and
Okay.
hurl it.
Okay, so roll. Just you don't have proficiency with.
Improvised weapons.
Yeah.
Does that count as a roll?
Well,
It just fell.
It just fell.
did it land?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it landed, it's not cocked.
I rolled an 8.
An 8? Okay, so
You did do this. It wasn't like an accidental drop. It just so happened to land on the edge.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
weird. So it misses. It doesn't land on him, but a pool of oil lands on the ground beside.
Okay. I'm gonna step back.
Okay.
Beside
So-
Worthington.
Damn it,
So you move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay.
And then I'm gonna look over and whistle to Tenaculum, and I'm gonna have him float over here near this fella.
So he can only move 30 feet. Right.
He can fly 30 feet, so I'm gonna have him move closer to that guy, but still be ground
Yeah.
level, and he's gonna use his acid spittle.
This guy, he's 30 feet up.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the range of your acid spittle?
My acid spittle range is 30 feet.
Okay, so yeah, if he's right here, he can
Yeah.
just shoot straight up. He will have half cover just because of the angle, but
So that is 13 to hit.
13 hit misses. So
Okay.
it spittles against the bottom, and as small like drips of acid fall back. It doesn't hit Tenaculum, but
That's my turn.
okay. Next up is the really hurt one here, and it is just gonna. It has like holes all over it from the fire, and it's steaming, and it's gonna rush.
Oh no.
25, and it is going to.
Does that trigger Worthington?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so you can roll the hit.
Why is it going after me? Sure.
Oh, that was
That one will do.
okay.
Wait.
19 or
Ni-
sorry, 18. excuse me.
18
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll Worthington's damage.
Kill him.
2. 8 damage total.
And it's piercing.
Yes.
Worthington bites into the flesh of his arm
Oof.
and kills him.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He's like.
So as he's running, he's about to, and you can hear you can see like snow picking up around him, almost familiar to the howls of the wolf and the bear from before. As Worthington strikes, knocks him down as he collapses onto the ground here.
Yeah.
I thought
Four.
they were the resistance piercing.
So did I.
8 damage halved is 4,
Oh. Okay.
and Willowa did
Yeah,
so much.
resistance.
Willowa did
Yeah.
so much
Right,
damage
right,
to
right.
this guy
And
that
fire damage.
for 8 was
is
it was just enough to kill him.
vulnerable.
Attaboy,
Good job, Worthington.
Attaboy.
Okay, so that's actually that guy's turn now.
Nutty.
So next up is
Yeah, that was that guy's turn.
is this one up here, and this one up here is going to take both shots at Willowa.
Oh, yikes.
So the first one is 11,
Miss.
and the second one is a nat 20.
Miss.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll say that.
Yeah, just that doesn't hit, right? Okay, so you are going to take only 8. Low average on both. Only 8 piercing damage as the arrow sinks into your chest.
Okay.
But then you have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, this is the curse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice, nice.
So 17 plus 5, so 22.
Okay, so you pass.
You
So
get-
the arrow doesn't explode; it just melts away.
Because you're
It's
so
my cold
hot.
resistant scar.
Yeah.
It went through the scarf.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is Knack.
All right.
So there's just this corpse and like the clatter of this this weapon
Yeah.
that falls beside you.
Cool. I am going to rush at the one that is in front of Yuri. Then
This
yeah,
one? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And as I run over, I'm gonna hold my warhammer to my mouth, but I'm gonna whisper something to it, and it's gonna start glowing.
Ooh, okay.
And then I will attack. I will attack the big boy right there. Big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you whisper?
Yeah.
15 to
Yeah,
hit.
fuck that guy.
15 to hit, just
Okay.
misses.
Yeah.
As it sees you rushing, you have the glowing of the hammer, and it still glows. It doesn't fade. Confirming searing.
Correct.
As you swing, and it steps back, and it just like right in front of his chest, and there's a little bit of sizzle as like steam rises, but no contact. So next up is this one,
I like.
and this one is going to. It has a shot at Gray and Eerie. So for Gray first, 15 misses. Eerie next, nat 1. So the arrows.
It
it
can
was-
reach Gray.
It can reach me.
It's using a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of these ones have like crystalline bows that are like grew out of their
Ooh,
hand.
I want a crystalline bow.
Next up is Lonin.
Yes. Okay. So I realized that I actually had 20 torches on me this entire time.
Literally, he realized that 10 minutes.
And
20.
so-
I was gonna say, I was like, you guys have explorers
He pointed it
packs.
to me, and
yeah,
I was like,
but you guys have explored packs too, though.
Your torches
No, we
are
don't.
decently
No, a lot of
sized.
people
No, I
didn't take
don't.
explorers.
I didn't take it.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't take it either.
So, I guess I mean I can do it or I'll ask you beforehand. My idea was I have the flask that Pippin gave me, right? How big is the flask? Like I never really find out. Like is it like a little tiny little thing or is
It's
it
not
big enough?
huge,
Like a ball.
Okay.
Like a pear.
So
but it's not full. Of
you
oil,
could
it's like
use
half full.
you can decide if you want to use my turn for me to attempt to do this. But what I was looking to do is basically have a torch, and if I can like stick the torch somewhere where it's still lit, or whatever, it doesn't matter, like on the ground, and then I can use my boot to hold the liquid from the flask, like the oil, and I can dip my arrows inside of there to then light them on the torch and then shoot them.
You're gonna fill your boot with
Yeah.
Hey, okay,
Oil.
so
why not,
what?
why not just dip your
Because it-
arrows in the flask?
How are my arrows gonna fit in the
Mid
flask?
fight
So
loaded.
okay, I understand what you want to do. It'll be. I don't know. You don't have a torch lit, so
No.
that's gonna be no matter what.
Sure,
no
I can
matter
use
how you
it-
figure it out, it's gonna be a turn to light the torch. But I
Yeah.
will say it's only a bonus action to dip your arrow.
Okay, and then we can just decide if and then see how it goes.
Yeah, so it's a bonus action to dip the arrow in the oil. That's fine.
But is that
You
like-
guys won't be laughing when everything's on
You
fire.
can light it as a free action.
takes his
That's
boot
okay.
off. Logan, what are you doing?
I'm setting my boot on
He's
fire.
he's like his sweaty foot.
He
sticks
does it
to
like the
ice.
wrong order and puts his flaming arrow in his oil boot.
Yeah.
But okay, so like if you want to do that, you can like free action, pull out your torch, and then how are you gonna light the torch?
Well, I am actually going to do all this, but I'm also going to use an action surge to attempt to do this during this turn, anyways.
Okay, so let
So
me
I
go
guess-
through the order. So you're gonna take out the torch. That's your free action. You're
Yes.
gonna prestidigitation to light the torch.
Yes.
And then I will let you free action to put the torch on the ground. That's fine.
Okay.
Then you bonus action dip an arrow in there, and I will let part of the bonus action be to like dip and then move it towards because that's just moving. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then your action can be to fire an arrow.
Okay, and
Okay.
we'll try to fire it because that guy's too close. Where's the closest guy? Like, I guess the closest guy to me visibly would be the one that's near Tanak.
Well, you can fire at any of these because
Okay.
they're 30
They're
feet up.
back.
Oh, they're upstairs. Or
Yeah, they're kind of upstairs.
They're
It's
upstairs?
like this is
Like,
a very
it's the
tall
same
room.
floor. The tavern all over again.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Are we in a boat right now?
It's a very tall room. It's like 60 feet.
There actually
Um,
isn't that.
There is an upstairs this time, guys.
Okay.
So, yes.
So I will attempt to do a longbow attack.
Which one did you want to hit?
None of them have been hurt anyway, so
No, yeah, no one has attacked these ones.
what I'll try to do is go with the one that's near Tenaculum, actually, just
Okay.
because, whatever. And just just out of curiosity, there's no way I can add my bursting arrow to that either, right?
You have to use a bonus action to do that, don't you?
You imbue your arrow with a blast of energy.
But does he use an action?
Good answer. You're right. It says create a magic arrow, I guess, but that was a different one though, so I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. Okay. We'll say I've given you a lot. We'll say you can't do a
I'll
magic
just say
arrow
maybe
this
not
turn.
this turn. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fine.
for
Okay.
sure not
Maybe
this
not.
turn.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm doing a million things. Ready?
Yeah.
It's like, how does my class
All right.
work?
So it was +3, so 19.
19 hits.
Okay, so 1d8. Do I add fire damage all to
The
this?
fire damage is going to be a flat 5
5 damage?
because it's going to be the same as the oil otherwise.
Okay. And 1d8, which is this die, right? No. That would be 4 damage. Piercing.
Plus 5.
So 8. So 9.
Okay, I can do the math. Okay, so that much fire. As the arrow pierces it, it like tinks off, but the fire is just enough to melt away a patch of its shoulder. So its shoulder is present with like a little bit of leather underneath.
Okay.
And then how much piercing did you do?
Just 4.
Okay, but the arrow tinks and doesn't really do a lot of damage.
Okay.
That. Okay, so next up is this one, and this one is just gonna make a straight scream as a chill air swirls around it, and you're gonna have to make a Constitution saving throw.
16.
16 passes.
Hey.
So you are gonna take.
So did you fill
2
your boot?
cold damage.
No.
No, he didn't fill his boot.
No.
Oh, I just like.
You're dipping them in the flask.
You can just dip it into the flask.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It's
I didn't know
fine.
how big. I thought it was like the little tiny little.
No, the flask is okay. You can dip just
Okay.
enough in for it's fine.
Your arrowheads aren't like huge.
I know. I didn't know.
Doritos.
Like Doritos.
Okay, next up, this one is gonna do the same to Nak. So Nak, make a Constitution saving throw.
No, 8.
Ooh, Nak, you have been
Easy.
afflicted
But
with
a
the Frostbound Curse.
Oh,
And
man.
you also take 11 cold damage.
Jeez, what the heck? How are we gonna survive this?
Oh, do I have to take
Maybe we're not supposed to
Constitution again?
survive this.
It's
is
not.
the
I mean,
end.
I'm sure it probably. It's not poison based, right? Just
No,
Okay.
it's not. Yeah, it's no, it's not
Just
poison
ice.
based.
The Frostbound Curse.
Yep. Okay.
so 11 damage.
11 damage.
Well,
Bye.
about to take a dirt nap.
Okay. So next up is
fallen
we're back at the
conscious.
top of the
Very
round,
good.
and it's back to Worthington. What's up?
I thought you've had to fall unconscious. He gets it if he fails the saving throw.
He is affected by it, but that doesn't mean you didn't fall unconscious yet. You're still up, but you
just,
have
like, half
as
Alright.
the scream hits you, like the side of your face, like the frost covers part of your beard.
Oh my god.
Sure. So Worthington is going to run over to the one attacking me, and
10,
Roll
15,
it.
20, 25. And does
Yeah.
wolves have pack tactics?
they do.
Okay, then Worthington considers you an ally.
Hey.
So roll with advantage.
Get it.
17.
17 just hits.
All right.
Maybe not just, but it hits.
Boy.
Okay.
So 2. 8 damage again.
So 8 damage.
And
Okay.
you have to do a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay. What do I have to beat?
11.
11. I pass.
Okay.
So Worthington tries to bite, but as he bites down, it's like the ice is too thick, and you hear a little whine, like oh, as he pulls his head back, but growls again. Next up is Willowa.
Alrighty. I am just trying to see who I can actually kind of see. I can see the guy up top on that balcony.
You can see this one. This one is like kind of out of your sight. It has like 3/4
Can
cover
I
right now.
move like maybe 10 feet over so that I can see the one that's in front of Gray as well?
You can
like-
see it from here actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because
I
you're on
wasn't
the
sure.
other side of Gray.
Okay.
So like this one, he's not right in front of them. So you're fine. You're
And I'm
40.
gonna be doing the same thing, so I'm gonna be doing the twin spell.
Okay, who do you want to be aiming at? This one?
The 2.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
And I'll be doing chromatic orb, so I'll get to roll. I'll see if they.
Just the first level, I'm assuming still, right?
Yeah, it's just first level.
Okay.
So the first one is.
And what's this one first?
Yeah,
Okay.
19.
19 hits.
So that will hit. I'm just gonna do my hits right away.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then the other one is 14.
14 misses.
Okay,
So this
so-
one, again, those same steaming craters.
Yeah.
Are they multiple walls or just one big wall this time?
I'll just do one.
One. So a
Huge
big
wall.
part of this, like, it takes a step back as like a huge portion of it is like burned away
Okay.
and steams up away
And then
from
I'll
it.
do my damage for the one that I actually hit.
What?
So 5,
There's the chat.
8, and that would be 13.
13. Ooh. Okay. So it gets hit again. It's very similar to the other one. A large crater hits its chest as its whole midsection is melted away and steams up into its face, exposing just like a human chest because of some of the clothing. It doesn't burn, but it's singed a little bit because it's wet. Okay, next up is this one, and this one's going to take a arrow shot at. Okay, either Pippin and Lower Lonan or Knack and Eerie. Even is Knack, odd is Lonan. Even, so Knack and Eerie are going to get shot at.
Good.
So Knack's misses, Eerie's hits.
Great.
So it does, that's the most common dice. It does 10 piercing damage, and they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do it.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay, so you're gonna take 6 cold damage
Okay,
as
I'm
well.
unconscious.
You just got knocked right off
Yeah.
that?
What do you
Ooh.
mean? You're at 12 HP.
I was at 12. I took 10 damage, so I'm at 2, and then
And
I
then-
took 6 more.
So Eerie falls
I'm done.
unconscious.
And she gets inflicted?
Eerie, the frost, the cloud of snow bursts around you, but there's no frost on your body.
Okay.
Did she fail the saving throw?
It wasn't. Yeah, but she didn't get affected by the curse. They can't. They didn't arrow attack. The arrows are exploding.
Oh, okay. It wasn't
Yeah.
the screen.
No.
Oh,
You actually have something you can do.
So next up,
At level
Eerie.
3, you can deflect missile.
Oh, does she have deflect missile?
At level 3,
I
you can
do.
Okay, then you know what? Let's reverse time.
I do have deflect
So
missile.
basically, what you do is you try to catch it. and
But I
then
didn't
you
know I could do that when it's not my turn.
I will let
so
you
we
use your
actually-
reaction because you haven't had an opportunity to do this yet.
I don't even
So
know
we'll
if you
reverse
have
time a little
it
bit.
down.
I do.
Oh, you did.
Okay. Thank you, Rinky.
Gray knows my character. better than I know my own character.
So it'd be
Okay, so I don't know how.
I don't even
it
know what
works.
the.
it's 1d10 plus your monk level, and that's how much you reduce the damage incoming by.
But I have to roll to see if it
This entire
Nope,
time.
you just roll a d10.
Yeah.
plus
Where was the? Oh.
So
What?
20 plus.
That would be 2.
2.
So 2?
Yeah, 2 plus.
Yeah, you're still knocked unconscious.
You're still. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still knocked. It could have saved you, but you're still knocked
So you
unconscious.
tried to catch it and it slipped
That's
through
okay.
your hands.
So Eerie,
Okay.
death saving throw.
Do you do one right away?
What?
Yeah, it's her turn next.
What do I roll for a death saving?
D20.
A d20. If 10 or higher, you pass.
Can I roll where I'm dead?
No,
No.
you get 1
Oh.
mark. If 1 is 2 fails, but a 20 is you're automatically up.
Roll a 4.
A 4.
So that's a failure.
Okay, 1 failure. So mark down 1 tick.
If you get 3, you die.
Great.
Oh god.
Cool.
Next up is Gray. So Gray, you don't see this because you're very far away
Yeah.
and your attention is focused on this guy.
I'm just gonna attack the guy in front of me.
Okay.
I'll start with my first attack.
Oh, yeah, you can because you have your bonus action attack this turn.
Oh,
Oh!
it rolled right on.
It was
Was it
so
on a
close.
20?
It was so
It was
close, but then
very
it like
close.
wobbled and then rolled onto the 8.
I think that's gonna be a miss though.
Yeah.
It's only a like 13 to hit.
13 misses, so you can do your offhand attack.
Bonus. Natural 20.
There you
Nat
go.
20!
And I'm gonna
Okay.
punt that with a smite.
A smite, and you get your +6 damage. So your smite
Nice.
damage and your Hunter's Mark damage aren't doubled, but your attack damage is. I believe that's how it works on crit.
Smite gets doubled.
Does it?
It's dice damage.
Okay.
It does, yeah. If sneak attack gets damaged, then.
I mean, you're right. Okay. Then your Hunter's Mark would as well.
Yeah.
Does it?
No, I don't think
Not
so.
Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
So it would be 1d8, no modifiers.
Yep, so you roll those 2 dice first.
I'll go back.
5. So that's 10.
So 10, okay. And that's slashing damage, right?
Yes.
So
and
as it
then-
shinks, ching, and you hear a horrible screeching sound as you make a small divot in its ice.
And this is gonna be 4d8 for smite.
Okay.
So 6, 7, yes, 13, plus 7, plus 1.
Okay.
I'm doing that.
Well,
6,
you know what? It's that you rolled one. It's gone. Holy light.
Cover it in shadow.
Yeah, holy dark light like pours out of its its mouth, its eyes.
Just when you die.
Oh.
What?
Did he die?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Hunter's Mark, just for the future, if you crit, Hunter's Mark is doubled as well.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
is.
you're right.
I
Yeah.
didn't even
So
roll that
if
damage.
an attack involves other damage dice, you roll those, double those dice as well. So like
Okay.
a Hunter's
5,
Mark or anything, yeah.
You can also move your Hunter's Mark to another creature.
That's a bonus action.
And he already used a
He
bonus.
already used a
action.
bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah, so your hunter's mark is gone.
Mhm.
But
You
this
can
guy
use it
is
next
gone
turn, I think.
as he collapses to the ground in this like dark, like ink-like darkness pours out of his body.
I think you can use it next turn.
What is
Amanda.
subsequent?
What does it say?
Subsequent
It
turns
says
means the next turn.
Your
Oh,
next turn.
okay.
So you can place it on someone else.
Yeah, because I think
Okay.
it lasts like an hour or something.
Okay, next
right?
up is this one over here, and it's going to take a shot at Willowa and Gray. Willowa's has half cover because of the weird ankle.
Okay.
So this was to
plus
Willowa
two.
first. It misses with a 6, and the one it hits to Gray. Oh, it's not one, so that misses too.
Thank God.
Okay, so nothing. Okay, next up is Pippin.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
gonna-
saw Eerie fall.
Yeah, I'm gonna run over to Eerie. Is this the first time Eerie's passed out unconscious?
Yes.
Yes.
Does she look like? Does she
Eerie,
look like?
yep. Just for now, Eerie is Eerie.
Okay. I'm gonna take my. Because I didn't prepare.
Well, I mean, if you want to use the surge action as an action.
I'm looking at her. Is what I'm saying.
I know, but like you're in the heat of battle, you're not noticing the small minutia right now.
I'm just looking at her face. So I
Yeah.
grab the potion out
Yeah.
of my bag, my health potion, and I'm gonna pour it down her mouth.
Okay, and so that's your action, and then you can roll the dice
Is it
for
the
Eerie.
Lydia's one?
No,
Oh,
health
Oh,
potion.
health. Okay.
My only health potion.
Wow. Blessed.
So that
Hashtag
is.
blessed.
That's 6. You're healed 6 health.
So Eerie, you are now conscious.
Ooh, by 6?
By 6.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. That cost me a lot of resources.
So you're like,
That was
I didn't
20
prepare
hours.
healing magic today. And then I'm gonna instruct Tanaculum to fly up more, so he has a better angle. So he'll go 30 feet up.
so he's staring at it in the face.
and he's gonna use his acid spittle.
Okay.
Wait, no. I'll do it so he's lower because it's a ranged attack, so I can't be right in front of him.
So
Oh.
well, you can just move, have him.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. 18 to hit,
18 hits.
and I'm gonna do 4 acid damage.
4 acid damage. Okay, as it spittles across and puts like almost like pock marks all over its face.
That's my turn.
Next up is this guy. And this archer is going to go 1 at Gray, 1 at Pippin. The first one misses to Gray. The second one on Pippin. Ooh, Pippin, what's your AC?
My AC is 15.
It misses.
Yay.
Both arrows clatter. It like zips Eerie. You're just waking up and a arrow like pierces the side of your head
Oh
and just
my
disintegrates.
God. I just
into ice.
immediately am unconscious.
Yeah.
Again. I'm like, I'm alive.
Next up is Knack.
Okay.
And Knack, you need to at the beginning of your turn make a Constitution saving throw.
Great.
Maybe.
No.
No.
Oh,
What?
no.
Okay.
Hard no.
So Knack,
Hard no.
you at the beginning
That
of your
was a 2.
turn, the
Okay,
frost
yep.
spreads across your face as you take 4 cold damage.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna start by. I'll use my action to attack.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Yeah. Okay. So. It'll be 9 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Plus, I still have my searing on.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay.
Searing smite, so that will do another 1d6. So 4.
4.
Yeah.
For fire.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, you have to make a con save because you took damage just now.
Oh
The
yeah.
cold damage?
Did he take a con save to see if he took cold damage?
No. Yes.
12.
12. You're fine.
So fine, yeah.
This is concentration for the
check
smite.
searing
Oh
smite.
yeah, I didn't know you had to concentrate on.
So how much fire damage did you do?
4.
4 fire damage.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still standing as like there's a hammer-shaped square,
Yeah.
and it's like where do you want to hit?
That's fine. The shoulder's fine.
In the shoulder, right on the shoulder.
Yeah, and it's on fire now.
It's on fire?
Yeah.
So what does that entail?
So at the beginning of each of its turns, it has to take a con saving throw. Failed, it takes more fire damage. If it passes, the fire
Okay.
is
So
extinguished.
holy fire like erupts
Yeah.
from their wounds as it like is like
Yes.
firing out and melting the ice around it.
And then my bonus action, I'm going to healing word myself.
Healing word.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any healers.
So that will be 2 plus, so 6. I heal myself for 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So you can have that. So next up is this guy, and he's gonna take a shot actually at Tenaculum
Oh.
and at Gray. So Tenaculum first.
Poor little-
What's Tenaculum's AC?
Tenaculum's AC is 13.
Hits.
Oh no.
poor little thing.
So Tenaculum's gonna take 2 piercing damage and has to make a Constitution saving throw.
2 piercing damage?
Yeah, and a con save.
Okay, con save is 15.
And he passes.
And he takes 2?
Piercing, yeah. So the arrow like shoots straight through and pierces the wall on the other side.
He's fine, he's fine. Tenaculum almost has as much health as I do.
Really? It's so funny. So Gray, it misses. It collapses to the ground and dissolves. Next up is Lonin.
Yeah. Okay.
So Lonin, you saw Eerie fall. You see Knack, the frost is like slowly encompassing around the side of his head. You saw the arrow fly through. You see everything because you have a really good vantage for the whole thing right now, actually.
Can I move to step in front of Eerie?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can only move here.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then she's just she's unconscious right now, or she's
She's awake. She's just still laying down because you fell.
okay.
And
Well-
doesn't have a target.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
sadly this was right
I'm
after.
going to try to shoot an arrow at the one that I targeted before again.
This one? Okay.
Yep. Sorry. No,
So,
the one
okay, if you
near-
do move, you're walking away from the torch that you have in the ground.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I forgot about the torch on the ground.
And the oil flask, because they're both on the ground right now.
Well, I probably need to grab those before I move over.
That would be your action.
Yeah. You know what? I'll stay back there.
Okay.
I'll do something after. Okay. I'm going to shoot at the one that's in front of Tenaculum.
Okay, this one? No.
Tenaculum's tiny.
Tenaculum is in the way.
He's tiny.
Now he's in the way.
Oh, he's tiny?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give it... Okay, we'll see if it... So that one, you might hit Tenaculum.
Okay.
But-
That's in that one.
If you hit Tenaculum with your...
So you're gonna... So we're gonna do the
I'm never making you
bonus
a potion
action
again.
to dip into the
Yeah.
oil flask
Yeah.
and then fire. Okay.
Okay. And I will. I guess I'll try. So when I hit, I can decide if I want to do the. I can make it the burst arrow. Or does that
Yep,
be-
that's okay now. Because last turn you just did a ton. This time you're okay.
Yeah.
Is it that
Oh
one?
my god.
No, it's a
It's
2.
Oh,
Two.
it almost hit Tenaculum.
Yeah.
It's 8, but
Yeah, it still misses. So the arrow,
Worst.
you dip and fire, and it misses, and the arrow like digs into the wall because of the fire around it. Okay, and so that's gonna be your turn.
what I could always do at this point is I can run up and I can protect Eerie, and the next turn if
She's already healed.
no, I know I just want to be in front of her just in case anything happens. That's all. But then if at any point my next turn I can run back and then use my flask and my arrow.
Yeah, you can run back and
Okay,
do
I'll
it.
do
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Okay. So next up is this one, and I have to make a
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Yes,
I do
sir.
flip through my book so much. What am I trying to pass?
You are trying to. Alright, let me verify actually, because I'm not.
So I think I failed.
14.
14. Oh, he just fails it with a 13. Okay, what am I taking?
You take 1d6 fire damage.
Okay, roll that dice.
Is he on fire?
Yeah, there's like holy flames are bursting out of his
Cool.
shoulder.
3 fire damage.
Oh, the ice
feel
melts from the whole body. The fire spreads across him as he collapses to the ground, completely
Yeah.
free of the ice.
Good job. Why weren't you doing that last time?
Yeah, what's up?
He didn't have it prepared at the time.
Yeah, there's some different spells.
Okay,
Cool.
so this one's right here. So he is down. He didn't even get to take an action. Okay, so now we're back up to the top of the round. Worthington, this like body collapses beside Worthington. There's just oil on the ground here still.
I think Worthington is just going to like hide behind me then. I think probably directly behind gives him pretty much cover from.
Everywhere, almost.
Yeah, whatever. That's the best spot I think anyway. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
And then he'll hold his action. And in the event that anything does make its way to directly in front of me, he'll bite them again. But yeah.
Willowa.
Alright, I'm going to step out maybe like 15 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Just so I can kind of see both of the guys up top.
Yep, your angle, there's no cover for the one out.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to be doing my last twinning.
Ooh, so this is the
spell.
last of your social
The last
points?
one that I can do, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to be doing a chromatic orb again.
Okay, what are they looking like this time?
I'm going to shoot like, it'll be like 3 going at each one.
Okay.
Like smaller bursts.
Cool.
Let's see what happens. The first one will hit with 21.
21, so we'll say this one first?
Sure.
Okay.
And then, why every time? 11.
11 misses. 21 hits though.
Okay. So, 5. Oops. 8. 8 plus 7.
15?
Yeah. 15.
Okay.
That's a strong spell.
Mm-hmm.
So the fire
Fire damage.
blasts over at the archer up here, and the first one hits his chest, the second one hits his knee, and the third one hits his face, as the ice completely melts from its body and collapses backwards. Okay, next up is this one here, and this one is going to take a shot at Lonan and at Mac. So Lonan, what is your armor class, Lonan, again?
15.
15 hits. So this is going to first do 10 piercing damage to you.
Okay.
And then Lonan, Eerie, and Worthington need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Because the arrow explodes.
Because the air explodes into like a tiny blizzard around them.
That's good.
Worthington got 19. plus
Worthington's
6,
fine.
so, yeah.
What is Constitution, sorry?
Yeah, Constitution
20.
saving throw.
Eerie.
Eerie?
14.
14? Okay, you guys will pass. You guys that's fine.
Would that arrow went for Eerie if I wasn't standing there?
Possibly.
Well.
And then the next one, this one is flying towards. No, did I do the one at Knack yet? I did the one only at Lonan so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Knack, this one is what's your armor class? 18.
18, yeah.
You're good.
DC 10. So you said 10 for my damage? Piercing?
Yeah, 10 piercing.
Oh, sorry. What was mine?
Nothing.
Oh, good.
You passed, so you're fine.
Great.
You didn't immediately fall unconscious. Don't worry. So next up is Eerie.
Okay.
So you just like have this entourage.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to really step around people to get to anyone.
Yeah.
You're
You're gonna have to use half your movement to stand first.
okay. So I'm gonna stand first of all. Okay, and they don't take piercing damage, and my only.
Well, they take they might take you.
Well, I'm gonna try then, just because my only range attack is piercing.
What's your distance that it can throw for the dart?
For the darts,
20 feet.
20 feet.
They're too far range.
So I can do nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
You can take a dodge action.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So all attacks against you have disadvantage.
For the rest
There
of the
you go.
I think
round.
it's 20 to 60.
Is it 20 to 60?
So you can throw, but it would have disadvantage.
Well, I might as well try.
Okay.
Because nothing else is gonna.
So you'd have to step around Lonan here.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 50. So 10 feet to move here, and you want
And
to
then
this
I'm
one.
gonna go for the closest
Okay.
one here.
So disadvantage.
Roll again.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, just a flat because there's no.
No, you're proficient.
Oh, this is just
Yeah,
a
so it'd
hit
be
though.
6.
So.
So you're plus 6 on this one.
Okay. So 16.
16 hits.
Oh, great! But I don't know what I roll for.
1d4.
For darts,
1d4 plus your dexterity.
which is
Where's my D4?
Your diamond.
Yeah.
I mean the triangle, not the diamond.
Pyramid. So, 5.
5? Okay. So it appears that it tanks off and it clatters to the ground.
Okay.
Doesn't look like it affects it too much. But there is a little like tiny shard, like a little ding.
A tiny little chip in the
So
glass.
just a little
Thing
this
of
one.
wind.
Next up is Gray.
Okay, so as a bonus action, I'm gonna move my hunter's mark onto that guy there.
Okay.
He's 90 feet.
Yeah, you have enough room.
And then I'm just gonna chuck a javelin.
What's your range on javelin?
Cash.
Just
Yeah.
the secret javelins he's had the whole time.
30 to 120.
Okay, so yep, so you have disadvantage
Wait,
on
shoot.
that one
Why?
because it's up 30 feet as well.
Yeah, 30 for low range and up to 120, right?
Yeah, so it's disadvantage because you're up to the long range. If it's 30, is with with
I
normal
thought
roll.
anything between that was good.
No, anything between those is the 120 is the farthest you can throw it.
Mhm.
Anything between 35 and 120 is with disadvantage.
Yeah, might as well just check them, I guess. 5. Miss and 5.
Okay,
And that's up.
so that's a miss. So you sheath one of your swords and throw a javelin and draw a javelin at the same time. Next up is Pippin.
Pretty good.
Alright.
Pippin.
Well, not much I can do. Not much I can do.
I feel you.
Sorry, y'all. You guys disposed of the ones on the ground really fast.
My acid slash can't even reach that high. First off, I'll make Tenaculum attack that guy again.
Okay,
So that's a 16 to hit,
that hits.
and that is 4 acid damage.
Okay, and as it pierces into it, it's still standing though. More pock marks, it's hitting its chest, almost like Gatling and bullet wounds. Across his body.
And then I'm going to use the help action. And you know what I'm going to do? Can I... No, never mind. I can't use my acid splash cantrip because it won't be able to reach him.
What's the range on that?
30 feet?
Yeah.
I guess I'll just do a dodge action.
Okay.
And that's my
fine.
turn.
So next up is this one. It's going to take an arrow at
I don't want to use my spell slots.
Gray and Willowa. So this one's going to be for Gray first. 17 to hit.
18.
Ah, yeah, just fails. And then Willowa, 11, so it just fails.
Just misses.
Yeah, okay. So next up is Knack. Constitution, save and throw.
God. Nope.
No.
No, really?
Yeah.
No, no.
Oh boy, okay. Just one
Not
cold
good, not good,
damage.
not good.
Oh, one cold
There's
damage.
this one, and now it's your turn.
Okay, okay.
Maybe the dog.
I think I will cast Guiding Bolt
Which one?
at the one that's kind of to
This
my
one?
right, the
Okay.
front right there, yeah. Nope. I just totally wasted spell slots.
What did it roll?
15.
Oh, that just misses. Okay. So, Knack is finished, and then it is this one's turn, and it's going to take its first shot at Knack and its second shot at Lonin. The first one on Knack misses, and the second one it's cocked. What's your AC, Lonin?
15.
Now it hits with a 16.
No.
So you're going to take 9 piercing damage.
Jeez.
And everybody, so Erie, Lonin, and Worthington need to make a con saving throw.
Worthington failed.
Worthington failed.
Oh, not 20.
Net 20.
Okay, and then what did you roll?
Constitution, you said, sorry?
Yeah.
17.
Okay, so Worthington takes 1 cold damage as the flurry goes around, but you guys miss it. You're still standing?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is Lonin.
Okay. Back to my arrows. Not my arrows, but back to the
Okay.
torch. Okay. Before doing it, because you said it was a bonus action if I did my arrows. You
The
said, right?
dip and light is the one bonus action.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I won't do what I'm. How much is my HP right now? I think it's 9. Okay. Well,
How much HP do you have?
28.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go to shoot at it. Actually, if I shoot the one that has hundreds, that's 100 marked. Does that affect me at all? No way.
It's only for Grace.
It's for him, right? Okay, good. Well, I'll just go back to the one that's the one that's for Tenaculum. Is that pretty hard?
It's looking pretty poxmarked, and yeah, it's looking pretty damaged.
Okay, I'll go for that one again.
Okay. Are you gonna dip the fire again?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, there we go. Finally. So that is a longbow. So that is 26.
20. Okay, that hits. And with the fire, as soon as the fire hits it, it ignites the leather that was exposed on his chest from one of the pox holes, and the ice melts away.
Take care of it. So basically, it just needed a little bit of fire damage and it was
It was like I had 2 HP.
Alright.
So like any damage would
I'm
have
gonna
killed it.
redirect for the one that just targeted us with that splash damage because I have one more action surge, so I'm gonna use it.
No, you only have 1 action surge.
I said that I have 2.
You have 2 at level like 10 or something. You
Yeah.
have-
Oh, that's right. You're right. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
That was a little overpowered.
Yeah.
Uh,
level 3, 2
Yeah.
3 actions in a turn.
Oh yeah, so 3 times level plus 1.
Yeah.
Works out.
Yeah. Well, okay, good.
Okay.
And then I guess I can't do anything else, so I'm good.
Okay, so next up is back to the beginning of the turn. Worthington, is he just gonna hold action again?
Yeah.
Okay, so Willowa.
Alright.
So there's only the 2 remaining.
So I'll just go for the one that's in kind of above me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do Chromatic Orb at level 2.
Okay.
Hopefully it works.
Strong girl.
Trying.
Strong.
Trying.
Did you say level 2?
Level 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if I hit.
Okay.
I do 19.
19 hits, okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll 4. So 5, 6, 11, 15, and 20.
20, so 40 damage. Woo! It just erupts. The balls hit it, and one hits its feet, and as soon as it hits, it just erupts in a pillar of flames. As the creature
Good
collapses.
job. See fire damage, guys.
Say that again.
Fire.
Would I
Put
mean
it with
damn.
fire.
But fine.
Like fire from like what, a torch or something? You think?
Well, I mean, at magic probably. I don't think you're
I don't
doing
have
that.
I don't have magic fire damage, unfortunately.
Well,
So next up is Eerie.
should have left you behind.
Yeah.
Is Lona next to me still?
No, he ran back. He's like sprinted back to his torch.
Alright. I'm just gonna try and chuck my oil flask at
It's too far.
It's too
if
far.
I move and then
It's
still
too
too far.
high up.
Great.
If you run closer, you can throw a
And if I
dart.
get closer, I'll throw a dart. Let's
Okay.
do that.
You can move there and throw a dart at it. With disadvantage, though.
Oh.
9.
9 misses.
9 plus 6. Never mind.
15.
15.
Misses.
I do nothing.
And it hits the bottom and clatters down.
Look at these
60.
stupid
Hooray,
guys off
you're
those
up.
pillars.
Is that within 90 feet?
Yep.
On an angle? Okay. I will Hunter's Mark and then just casually throw another javelin.
From across the throne room.
Disadvantage.
Casually.
Yeah.
I'll just take it.
It's like Fletcher.
Oh, natural 1.
Nope.
16.
I'm gonna have you quickly just roll a strength saving throw to see if it like ricochets off the wall. Actually, no, just a flat roll.
17.
Okay, you're fine. I was gonna see if it ricocheted off the wall and hit Eerie, but we're fine.
Oh.
Oh!
That would have been
Can you
bad.
imagine?
You're good though. No, it doesn't
It's
do
not
that.
unconscious again.
It just clatters to the ground. Don't worry. Next up is Pippin.
Oh, good. I'm gonna have Tenaculum float over towards this guy
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
and Acid Slash.
Okay.
Or Acid Spittle. And that is a, 19 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 6 acid damage.
Yeah, this one melts it like the foot. It melts it so you can see a little bit of a boot.
I'm gonna melt that boot too. And then Pippin is going to take a dodge action.
Okay. Next up is Knack.
Alright, I'll just place my Warhammer down next to me and pull up my crossbow.
Okay.
And I'll fire one off.
Okay.
No. 13.
13 misses. Ting. Clings off.
We're not doing well, guys. We're not
Next
doing
up. Oh wait. Constitution saving throw.
There's only one
yeah,
left.
Not very range heavy.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, you are fine. Okay, so that's...
Dude, you're cursed.
So next up is this one. It's going to fire an arrow at... 1 second. It's going to be either Eerie, Knack, and Gray. So this is 1 and 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4. So 1 at Eerie, and 1 at Gray. So the one at Eerie, ooh, that's going to hit with a non-natural 20. The one at Gray is going to miss. So Eerie, you're going to take 3 piercing damage,
Okay.
and you have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
21?
Oh, and you're fine. So just the 3 piercing damage
Wait, what do you
is...
got?
No. Okay, so it's just 15.
That still passes.
Okay. And I have 3.
21. What'd you get? 21.
She added her dart damage.
Every time I roll, he goes, add 6. Add 6. So in my head, I was like,
Okay, so 15. That's fine still. Okay, next up is Lonan.
Yeah. Okay.
Did I get
No, I
you
missed. I
didn't.
missed you. Yeah. I'm rolling really bad for the one. I don't think Grace would hit this whole combat.
Just once.
Can I see? Can I see that one like from where I'm at, because above, or just by looking? That's I'd say it's okay.
If it's
above,
30
right?
feet up.
Yeah, Pippin's pretty short.
Okay.
He'll just dodge.
I'm at
it.
9 HP. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah,
Goes
that's
for the
good.
for the back of your head.
I'll go for.
If it's not one, it might
Yeah,
hit
it's just
Pippin,
that
but
one.
only might.
No. So it's gonna be 11.
11 misses as the burning arrow tings off the wall
Okay.
one more time. Back up to Worthington.
Same.
Back to Willow.
Alright. Is this one at the other side of the room 90 feet or more than 90 feet away?
I would say you have to move forward a little bit to hit
Okay,
it.
I'll move like 10. Or
Right there?
15. Yeah, like
What's
right
it?
next to Grace.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Now we can see it without
Um,
any issue.
And I'm gonna do Chromatic Orb again.
Okay.
That's the only thing that
First
works
or
on
second?
them. Just
Well, it was like carrying.
Yeah, well, it was like
Yeah.
taking out like doon.
She has killed like 4 of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And done the majority of. Actually, you know what? Worthington killed one of those, so.
He
Yeah, but
finished.
this
He
seems to be
finished.
I'll
around
say it
all
one
of
more
those.
time,
One
guys.
person just
Fire
died.
damage.
I killed the one on the top right.
I don't have any more. Mine's melee. I can't melee from here.
Me
I'm
neither.
going to do.
Actually, I could put out. No, wait, I think it is melee.
I don't think
I'm
you
gonna
can.
do a level 2
you can't
again.
smite
Level 2 again? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's 20, not
20 hits.
natural.
You've been rolling really high too. You've only
Yeah,
missed like a
it's
few
not bad.
attacks.
Yeah, it was when I was doing the twins, which was actually lucky because I still hit something.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6, 13, 15. 22.
22, yeah.
Okay. So 22. You just-
Rapid fire.
Rapid
Or-
fire. And it keeps hitting.
Fireballs.
Just
And
like,
the
I'm
fire just
tired.
keeps
Well, it was just
going.
like,
What the hell?
Eventually, it's
fire.
like it changes from steam to smoke as you just keep pounding it with these attacks. As it once again falls. And that's the end.
Yay.
But
Excellent job to everyone. Except
Before-
for
We forgot the ice queen though.
and the screen's on the room.
She's not
But
there.
before, Knack, roll a Constitution saving throw.
No. Nope.
Oh,
Okay. You're gonna take 2 cold damage.
Okay.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw. After this one, everybody will have a chance to react.
I passed that one.
Okay. So Nat, everyone, the battle is over. The last one has been taken out. Everybody directly around Knack, specifically like Gray. Well, I don't think you would because you're facing the wrong
Yeah.
direction. But everybody else, you see this frost like starting to coat Knack's face.
oh no!
I'm gonna rush over.
Okay. So this is your one. I'm only giving everybody one thing they can do. So the movement will be 1.
But that's my thing.
Yeah, that's going to be your thing for this one. You'll have another option,
Okay,
but
I'll run over them.
20, 25, 30. I'll let you get all the way over there. That's fine.
I'll also rush over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'll cure wounds myself.
Okay.
So I'm getting 10 health back.
Okay.
I feel like I should heal myself too. I have second wind.
You're not cursed right now.
I
was
have
his
9
action.
HP.
He can do that if he wants.
I have 9
Yeah,
HP.
we're all like, nah, we'll help you, we'll help you. Travis is like,
He's like sipping a juice box.
Well, I'm healing anyway.
yeah,
so
what do you guys want to do to help Knack? I heal myself.
Aries
I
like,
gotta get that HP back.
Aries turns around.
Oh my
Hey.
god.
Knack's like a snowman.
No. Oh, those cocked
I'm just
anyways.
petting the dog.
Okay.
So,
6 HP.
Okay, so you're gonna get that. Knack,
Yep.
roll a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. 20.
20. You pass, and the
Nice.
ice drips and melts off of your face.
nice.
See?
So-
Didn't need to be
Guess
able
what's
to.
up?
So he's fine?
How many spells did you dump into yourself?
I got no level 1 spell slot
Ooh,
left, so.
boy. Okay.
I was about to heal you.
And with that, combat is over. Did you guys want to continue now and just do a little bit of finishing the room, or do you want to leave now
I
for
say
the
we
night?
leave it.
I
Yeah,
think
I
we
say
leave
we
it.
leave
it
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Tired and hurt after destroying the room.
Yeah, that was
You
crazy.
guys are left with a laugh Oh, that was so much fun. I can't wait to have more fun with you guys. Next week on AllFunNDice.
Yeah.
Or next time. Next time on AllFunNDice.
So did you fight off the curse? I'm confused.
Yeah, I fought it
Yes.
off, yeah.
Yeah. He rolled a nat 20.
I said it was
Like
melted
the ice
away.
strips off your
I'm
face and
so
you're fine.
confused.
I said it melted away.
Yo,
Draws y'all.
nutty.
Wow. Good times.
There it is.
Good
I
times.
almost died.
Well, you would have had to roll 2 more times. That's really bad, though, right?
Erie, in that moment though, if you can touch your hair, you'll notice a bit more white.
More
A
white?
bit more white.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, getting old.
Yeah, no, old lady.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you for
guys.
watching, guys. So we'll be uploading it to YouTube if you guys missed half of it or anything like that. And then keep in mind that I will be streaming after, not D&D, but just regular streams after. Probably we're gonna have like lunch and stuff, and then I'll be jumping on after that. But we also uploaded all of the other episodes, so this is like number 8.
Episode 8.
So stay tuned for number 8. Should be probably uploaded, I say, tomorrow. And then the next time we're going to be here, most likely, if I'm thinking, will be next Friday, right? That's what we're kind of going for.
We'll
We're
talk
going
about
to
it.
kind of talk about that, and we'll let you guys know in Discord and go from there. All right, guys. So hope everything sounded good today.
Sorry to end it abruptly, but we're 40 minutes over.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
40 minutes
I
over.
was.
Well,
I didn't
when
think
we
that
were
fight
hoping
would take
to
that
end,
long.
Yeah.
It was
So
a long fight.
we're
Good
trying
battle.
to.
That was good though.
It
Good
was
battle.
That was good.
But we will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone. And thank you guys so much for all the follows, guys.
Bye. Stick around.